Alrighty. Welcome here to a beautiful Tuesday night here at Siemens Stadium as Conrad is just figuring out his mic. It's me and him
Technological gremlins.
There we go.
There we go. We got it. I'll fix the other microphone so that when we have our interview coming in a little bit later, their mic will actually work today.
Perfect.
So, a beautiful day until the clouds came in, we have to say, as we've got some clouds rolling into our right, your broadcast left. But it's a beautiful day for baseball and a beautiful day for Energy City to roll into town as they look to play their first game in 4 days because they've had a couple of rainouts. They're supposed to go down to Brooks, that beautiful new grass.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit of an interesting scenario. As we all know, the weather in southern Alberta can be variable at the best of times.
And it hasn't been too friendly over the last, I would say, almost couple of weeks now, especially in Calgary with how high the rivers looked as well.
Yeah, Calgary and area has been hit pretty bad. I hear it's raining again up in Edmonton and area, so
that's brutal.
It's not limited just to southern Alberta, I guess.
Yeah, it likes to make it makes to make its trip around apparently.
Yeah, it's a couple of these big storm systems that have rolled through Alberta that have wreaked some havoc with playing schedules in the WCBL. But Merrick, you had the rankings up here. Let's talk a little bit about that West Division in the WCBL.
Yeah, so obviously not too much parity, just with how the season's kind of not necessarily just started, but teams are kind of just slowly starting to spread. One less game, than the Okotoks Dawgs, who are right behind them with a 6-3 record. But the main difference that I'm noticing between the Bulls and the Okotoks Dawgs is the run differential, and it's a pretty big one, I would say. That the Bulls having a -4, and the Dawgs having a +62 run differential.
Yeah, that's what happens when you explode for 26 runs in a couple of games. Of course, talking mainly about last night when the Dawgs were down south in Brooks. And it was close until the Dawgs pulled away an 8th-run 7th inning and then 9 more in the top of the 9th. And I would go through some player stats with you, but we'll wait until after we do our Dog of the Day to talk about that. It was a incredible day for a couple of players. Of course, it was Nash Kroll's birthday, and we'll wait to talk about his stats after the Dog of the Day.
I think he had a very good birthday gift for himself that night as well.
Yeah, for a guy that hadn't hit a home run, known as a power hitter.
Yeah, like you said, that's going to be a fun topic to talk about.
And we'll talk about it after. We'll throw it down to Logan Coots at field level to take us to the ball game today here in Okotoks, Alberta on FloCollege.
Oh, it's I Love This Town night, and boy, do we love this town, or what? We've got some excellent representation of our community up on the concourse. Not only do we have the town booth there, we have got Ringette, we've got the Rowan House up there, Sentinel Storage. They're collecting sports gear, and a whole lot of Okotokians right here in beautiful Siemens Stadium. Now we're going to get things kicked off the way we always do, because we've got a special presentation for you. We're going to start with the Serini Fine Jewelry Dog of the Day. And I think it should come as no surprise who it is, because he had quite the day yesterday. Not only was it his 23rd birthday, but on his 23rd birthday, this guy went 4 for 5, 5 runs, 3 home runs, 9 RBIs, and a walk. Do I even need to introduce him? It's Nash Bash! Hey, congrats, man. Happy birthday. And you are today's Serini Fine Jewelry Dog of the Day. Now, Dawgs fans, it is I Love This Town night, and, well, who better to introduce our incredible people we have on the field, but other than William Gardner. Take it away, Will.
Hey, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Siemens Stadium. This is our 20th year in Okotoks, and each and every season, we have set aside one night to recognize this community. It's been called We Love This Town, and I can't tell you enough. You are the greatest fans in all of baseball, and this is the greatest community in all of baseball. Give yourselves a round of applause. We do love this town. As I mentioned, this is our 20th year, and we're going to be looking back as we look forward. And tonight I am honored to recognize some very special people who have a very special part in this story that is Dawgs baseball. Before this stadium was constructed and when baseball was simply a dream in the eye of community leaders in this town, an organization got behind us from us. And I firmly believe that without their commitment, Dawgs baseball would not have been here and it would not be the same. For 20 years, we have proudly had their logo on the first base Dawgs dugout. And tonight, it is my great privilege to recognize our friends, our sponsors, and our partners, the Western Wheel. This is an incredible honor because we have the original. On our patio, we have a sign that says Core 4, and that's in tribute to the original players. Well, tonight we have the Core 3, the 3 key components to the Western Wheel 20 years ago. I'm going to ask you to join me in welcoming position on the field. He was the editor of the Western Wheel. He has gone on to represent our community as a member of Parliament. I am proud to call him my friend, Mr. John Barlow. And this gentleman became a very special part of the Dawgs story. He covered sports for the Western Wheel at the time. He was and is a baseball fanatic, and we talked a lot of baseball over the years. Please welcome Bruce Campbell from the Western Wheel. And as the torch was passed, over the years, the new regime took over, and they've done a magnificent job of carrying on the Western Wheel. Thank you, Curtis. Please welcome Sean Jessom. And a person who's become a very dear friend of ours, and I argue, if you're the best fans in baseball, and this is the best community in baseball, he's the best sports reporter in baseball. Remy, you've been a special friend. You do a great job. Remy Greer from the Western Wheel. Now, Diggity's joining me on the field. Fans, if you've not picked up one of these commemorative 20th anniversary magazines, I urge you to do so. This tells the story of the Dawgs like never before, and it is very, very special. You will want to get your copy. We have copies available in the Dawgs ticket office tonight at the program stand. Be sure you get one of these and do something else. Take a moment and thank the gentlemen behind me for their great part in this great story that is Seaman Stadium and Dawgs baseball. It is now my privilege to express our thanks in a tangible way to the team behind me, from the team that you supported. We're honored to present each of you with a commemorative jersey honoring your support over 20 years. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for the Western Wheel. And now I'm going to turn it over to Mike. Let's have that starting lineup.
Dawgs fans, make some noise. Here is tonight's starting lineup and batting order for your center fielder, number 5, Aiden Krause. Dogs Academy alum attending Gonzaga University. The shortstop, number 8, Ricky Sanchez. Batting third out of Indiana University, the right fielder, number 3, Cactus. The cleanup batter, attending Tennessee Tech University, Dawgs Academy alumni, the third baseman, number 10, Connor Croson. Dawgs Academy alumni attending Tennessee Tech University. Hitting 6th out of Vernon College, the catcher, number 16, Jacob Lusk. Hitting 7th out of Colby Community College, designated hitter, number 7, Turner Septunik. Hitting 8th, Dawgs Academy alum out of the University of Mary, second baseman, number 6, Hank Griffin. Dawgs Academy alumni attending the University of Portland, left fielder, number 2, Landon Kaufman. And starting on the mound tonight.
Dogs fans and baseball fans, I'll ask you to rise if you're able, remove your hats, and join Brett and Rose in the singing of our national anthem.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. We stand on guard for thee. God, keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
The singing voice of Brett and Rose. Welcome back, Brett. You missed a few games, and you've missed a few absolutely beautiful games for the Dogs and a pair that they'd like to forget. Of course, as we mentioned, they went down to Brooks and put the smackdown on the Bombers, but they've had a couple of games here in Okotoks that they'd like to forget before that. But before we talk about all of that, we'll talk about the man on the mound, Brody Pepe. Brody Pepe, only in his second appearance, and hey, he only pitched 1 inning in his previous appearance. That was back against Fort McMurray, the Giants. He got 1 inning, 2 strikeouts on 12 pitches, so obviously the stuff is good. Just hasn't been stretched out the way you might be asked to today. But yeah, we talked about it, and the Dogs had a couple of guys come to the plate 7 times last night, so I don't know if you'll see a little bit of rotation a little bit early or on here for the Dogs, but we'll have to wait and see. Before we get into this game, we'll talk about the Energy City Cactus Rats roster. We'll start it off with the center fielder, Stephen Fermin, and then it'll be Dan Kawanishi in the second spot, playing second. Right fielder, Riley Quack. The first baseman, Daniel Simmons. Catcher, Liam Kirsch. That'll head to the 6th hole with DH Akita. It's What is Akita's first name again?
Hikaru.
Hikaru. Of course, I can't write and read my own read my own writing. I should know that as obviously Hikaru, one of the best chess pros. Everyone knows that. But then Carson Burnett and Seiji Umezawa, and then in the 9 spot, it is Micah Cervantes. On the mound for them, it will be Seb Misner. But apologies to the Akita family. But we will have to see how long Pepe does end up going. They've kind of had some of these guys that come in as collegiate relievers and then get turned into starters. Collegiate starters turned into closers. So we'll have to see. And we haven't mentioned one team, and they're kind of the most important one on the field today. Brad Johnson behind home plate, Lonnie Smith, and by winter, he is a NHL linesperson. By summer, he's here in the WCBL. It's Chris Schlenker at third.
It's a pretty good side gig.
Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah, what do you think he puts first on his resume?
Ooh, I don't know. Sometimes, hey, there's some games out here that get pretty. The umpires got to step up sometimes, and I'm sure it's just like that in the NHL. But hey, both look fantastic on a resume.
I wonder if he's broken up more fights as a linesman in the NHL or in the WCBL.
That's a great question.
But after the long extended opening ceremonies, our first pitch in officially at 7:11. We're only a little behind schedule after that extended ceremony as the first pitch in for a ball, and it'll be knocked up the middle. Will Sanchez get there? He will not. Sanchez being a little far over to the third base side, and Energy City has a leadoff hit. For those of you wondering, Energy City, where is Energy City? Of course, it's Spruce Grove, located just outside Edmonton. That new Energy City Metro ballpark just opening for fans soon, we are told. They've played some games there, but fans not allowed in the ballpark just yet.
Oh, it's kind of a...
It's under construction. That will hand down the roster to down Kawanishi. Kawanishi, the lefty, squares to bunt, and he'll put it right up the middle. No play to second. It'll be a toss over to the belated birthday boy, Nash Kroll, one away. Will advance the runner. Apparently, I haven't turned on your score bug for you.
Thank you.
Apologize, it is Quack, I have been told by our lovely Mike Mahoney. So we'll get that one corrected up for future. Checks up on the runner at second. Fastball on the outside half of the plate. That'll be a strike 6 or 7 times a week and twice on Sunday. But obviously the Dawgs trying to limit the damage now with the runner technically in scoring position at second. That one just bends a little bit inside. 1-1 goes the count. The 1-1 offering from Pepe. That one looked like a fastball. That'll be fouled off of. Pepe, he has a sinker that tops out at 92, the four-seamer in at around that same range, a cutter in the 82, a curve at around 78, and the changeup in the low 80s. So a 5-pitch mix here, not something super common in the WCBL, and changed up the cadence, gets the K. It's almost a bit of a quick pitch there to sit down the 3-hole hitter.
Oh yeah, especially like just going back to having 5 pitches, especially in the WCBL, is something that's not necessarily a very common thing, and obviously the Dawgs want to bring that and use it almost as much as they can because it's a big advantage in this league.
Well, unless you're a guy named Matt Tugboat Wilkinson, who's a 2-pitch pitcher in this league and did pretty good.
Yeah, when you compare him to him, yeah, you make a great point there.
0-2 runner goes, called strike. Will they get it throw? It will not be in time. Connor Croson had to twist around and get that, so Fermin with the single, the advanced on the fielder's choice, and then a steal of third, and a different adventure around the base pass here at Siemens Stadium. And hey, every team that comes in here knows they need to score early and score often to keep pace with these Dogs. Hit for Pepe inside, 1-1 the count. As I said, the Cactus Rats haven't played in a while. They had a couple games scheduled down in Brooks over the weekend, but a lot of rain, and as I said, new grass down in Brooks. Weren't able to play. If that was an unconvincing swing there from Daniel Simmons. He's into the 1-2 count. Can the Dogs give up the leadoff single and then take care of business after that? We will have to see. Pay doesn't like the first signal, doesn't like the second, nods at the third. The Dogs threaten, or not the Dogs, the Cactus Rats threaten, but do not score. The Dogs get through a scoreless first inning. We'll be back on the other side of these message on FloCollege.
Furball homeowners have options. Discover flexible home equity and mortgage solutions at capitaldirect.ca. And Dogs fans, check out the Mr. Rooter sign in right field. If that head gets hit tonight, one lucky fan will walk away with $1,000.
We're back here in Okotoks, and the slate gray highlighter yellow Energy City Cactus Rats jerseys take the field. Leading off for the Dogs is one of the Dogs who last night did head to the plate 7 times, Aiden Kraus. He went 4 for 7, 4 RBIs and 2 runs scored, and did strike out.
Oh, the one strikeout, man. Come on. We got to do better. No, I'm just kidding. We played phenomenal last night.
You can't really complain when you put up 25 runs in a game.
Oh, definitely not.
First pitch for Misner inside, 1-0. Again, I always, in the few years so much energy to the Alberta province, is that one up the first base side going to be just a ground out to the first baseman. So Kraus will sit down. We got back to the uniform comment. It reminds me of coveralls, of course, used so often in this province by those working in the oil field and the energy field. So it makes sense drawing inspiration in that way.
Oh, definitely. Sometimes you gotta base it off of something to make a new thing, and I think that's a pretty spot-on kind of comment, especially with their jerseys.
So Ricky Sanchez, 7 plate appearances, only 5 official at-bats because he was hit by pitch twice. Went 2 for 5. Takes a called first strike here from Misner. Sab Misner. to expect that. Talking about Seb Misner, the righty thus far, again, only played one game, 3 innings pitched back at Sylvan. And a 1-1 count here to Sanchez. And Sanchez behind that fastball will go to 1-2. And looking at the crowd, a little sparse as it is a little bit cooler. And hey, these Tuesday games are sometimes hard to get to. Don't have too many of them on the Dawgs schedule.
No, and I don't think the weather was a big invite kind of option here.
Misner swing and a miss. Ricky will go down on strikes. The K of the forward variety as he swung at that one. He'll have a little communication with Cal Gates. Gates has been hotter than hot all season, batting .543. So those of you who don't understand what that means, if you were to throw 10 pitches at him, he'd hit just over 5 of them. An on-base or an OPS of 140 or 1,422.
Wow.
Gates will see that pitch in high, and DH'd last night, playing the field today. He was 4 for 6, did have a walk, 3 RBI on the day, and accounted for 4 of the Dawgs runs. He'll hit that one in the direction of third base. That will be Umezawa gathering, and the Dawgs will go down 1-2-3. Not something we're overly accustomed to seeing and weren't expecting with the explosion last night. But we'll be back with the second inning tied at 0s when we return here at Stephen Sabian on today's Dawgs baseball game on FloCollege.
Dawgs fans, every single game we wrangle up a bunch of kids that think they're faster than our dog. Presented by Mark Anthony Group, we've got a whole crew of them. They all think they're faster than Diggity, but I think you might be able to beat them. We're gonna make them into a line here. All right, kids, when I say go, you go. And we're gonna race nose to nose against our dog. Are we ready? 3, 2, 1, go! Oh, Diggity giving him a bit of a head start, but will it pay off? These kids are fast! Oh, no! Diggity, no! That was close! Nose to nose, we might have to go to photo finish. But a great job to all of these kids here, and a great job to you, Diggity! Hey, big round of applause, all of our contestants.
As we pick the child that Diggity just ran over in the are you faster than our dog? We return to the Dawgs on defense after they go 1-2-3, and this is something I was kind of worrying about as I was driving out. Is did they run out of hits? They used them all last night, but again, this is a new look Cactus Rats squad, trying to improve over their appearance in the last 2 years. So
yeah, I think a lot of people coming into the game tonight had that thought of, like, you put up 26 last night. What's the likelihood of you putting up 26 today? Not likely, but you don't want them to have used all their runs in one game.
Young Dawgs APs they've called up that was playing catch with them. That was the off speed and caught the outside corner. 1-0 the count. Hearing we're having some technological difficulties, so hopefully our score bug is up now. So if not, I'll just keep talking through this inning and reminding you of the count as often as I can. Pay delivers, and that one's chopped up towards Sanchez. Sanchez charges it down, makes one of the most familiar throws in the WCBL over to Nash Kroll. 1 away. It's got to be comforting coming back to Okotoks, knowing the guy you've been throwing that over to at first base is still there for the last 5 years.
Oh, exactly. It just, you almost just know exactly, like, all of his mannerisms, how he's gonna act, and kind of reach out to make a play.
Exactly where that glove is, not having to worry. The only time you have to worry at the knees to the 2-hole hitter, Hikaru Ikeda. 1-0 the count. That one outside to Ikeda. Ikeda, the right-handed batter, wearing the yellow gloves that do actually kind of complement the Energy City uniforms, because it's kind of the same color as the all-purpose gloves that a lot of rig hands wear. So that yellow, and he's ahead 3-0. Is Ikeda managing the DH duties today. Last game they were in, he went 0 for 3. He'll take that strike down at the knees, however. 0 for 3 with 1 walk in that game against a couple of strikeouts, but that one will not be a competitive pitch. That will be a walk for Ikeda.
Seems to be the first pitcher of every inning so far for Pepe, just, and then kind of settles him down, and at least it worked in the first, and you kind of hope it history repeats itself, at least now.
It'll hand off to Carson Burnett, the left fielder today. He came in relief of Daniel Simmons in the last game. That was when he was playing first base. Today he's out in the left. So corner infielder and outfielder for Energy City. Again, goes the off speed on pitch number 1, and that will be a strike 1 for Brody Pepe. In that relief, he went 0 for 2. Run. Trying to pick off at first. Kroll doesn't even apply the courtesy tag. Runner is all the way past him, standing up. Ikeda takes a bit of a shuffle step. Pickoff attempt number 2. Kroll did get the tag there, but right to the back corner was the slide. So 2 pitches towards first, 1 towards home. 0-1 the count. Outside, and Lusk threatening the back pick there.
Yeah, they're seeing something over there with on first, with how much room that Ikeda's kind of given off there. Even both the catcher and Pepe, excuse me.
I know it's close to papaya. It's kind of, and I've got a papaya flavored drink in front of me. Runner goes. Strike on the throw. Did not quite get the strike. Well, wouldn't have been strike him out, throw him out, but he will advance to second on the steal. But 1-2 the count here to Carson Burnett. He'll foul that one off to stay alive, back in the general direction of the Dawgs parking lot. Not hearing any windows breaking just yet.
Yeah.
It was game 1 last year where we had one of the social media interns take one right to the back window.
Yeah, we actually just had one of the scorekeepers. He took it to the back of his truck as well. So, yeah, that.
Alex got one to the back of his truck.
Yep.
Ugh.
Right. Ooh.
Pickoff attempt, kind of. Didn't end up throwing the ball, but again, they're well aware of Ikeda on the base paths.
We saw a balk not too long ago as well, which was, like, I think the first one anyone's seen in quite a while, especially in this league.
He delivers inside, going down looking will be Burnett. He disagrees. But Brad Johnson is a veteran umpire in the WCBL. Rings him up. I'm trying to talk with our friends over at Alberta Dugout Stories about talking about who is the longest serving umpire. They don't have those numbers, but I know Brad Johnson was one of the guys that we're talking about that's done this for a long, long time. Umezawa steps to the dish.
Ikeda really playing some mind games over there on second with how much of a leadoff he really is taking.
Yeah, we're lucky this isn't the MLB where you only have the 2 interactions. Lusk tried to steal a strike there and doesn't get it. 1-0 the count.
Could you imagine if we introduced like the ABS challenge?
Well, I don't think we'll see that for a while in this league. But I did hear there was talks in some of the meetings this year about instituting the pitch clock, as that one flies down the left field line, but it will be foul.
Yeah, it's worked really well for the MLB. Obviously, that's the biggest league for the pitching clock, but overall, it's seemed to work for them.
And hey, it's just some of these, especially when you have academy pitchers or affiliate pitchers for these squads, sometimes it does take a little bit longer to get the signal. And it's, even when you have young catchers, they're looking to the dugout to get every pitch, reeling it back to the pitcher, and that just eats so much time. And
yeah, because the pitcher could disagree, and then you've got to restart that whole process again.
100%. 1-1 the count here to Umezawa. Base side, one foul down the first base line, spraying either side of the diamond. Count is 1-2. Umezawa has been batting down the lineup for Energy City so far this year. The last game he did play third and short as he'll hit this one right up the middle of the Dawgs infield. Griffin will snag it and will be done. The away side of the second inning. We'll be back. Conrad Wood and Merrick Robinson will return after these messages.
AKA the Freddy's section, because this whole section is brought to you by Freddy's Steak Burger and Custard. And every single game we get to give free custard to some of you. Usually we do a whole row, but I think we'll we have got getting free custard row K, L, and M. K, L, and M. Is that 1, 2, 3? Congratulations. You all got some free custard to Freddy's Steak Burger and Custard. If you haven't yet checked them out, be sure to. They're the only one in Alberta, which makes our community just that much better.
The second inning presented by Foothills Creamery. Scoop and joy since 1969.
We're back for the home half of the second inning. We always do like to mention when one of the Dawgs from teams past changes squads, and we'll talk about catcher Gavin Logan today. He just got called up to the Reno Aces. So we'll be right back here in a moment. We'll get everything figured out in between the innings here, and we'll just get you through this one verbally, and I will just remind you of the count as often as I can. But yeah, Gavin Logan promoted out of the Armadillo, or the Amarillo. I always call it Armadillo because there was a song on TikTok. But out of the Amarillo Sod Poodles, he's heading up to AAA Reno with the Aces. So advancing up the ranks. Hit one out of the park yet this year, but hey, he played third, went hitless in 3 appearances, but drew 4 walks.
Apparently they didn't want to face him last night.
Did not want to pitch to Croson, and hey, getting runners on for Nash Kroll last night, you're never going to argue with that one.
Exactly.
His bat would have been on fire if this was a video game. That one a little low, 1-1. Merrick, do you see what I see off to right field? I see water coming out of those clouds.
Yeah,
so
I'm not too keen on what I'm seeing over here.
Knock on wood that stays well away from the ballpark. Croson gets a good piece of that one. It's going. It'll be into the field management solution down on the right side of our ballpark. He's trying to hit the Mr. Rooter sign, trying to win one of the lovely Okotoks Dawgs fans, a $1,000 courtesy of Mr. Reuter.
Exactly. You almost just think like once he gets one, it's just the floodgates keep going, right? So you just need that. It's just getting the first one is always the hardest one.
Kirsch doesn't like the signs he's seeing, eventually agrees to the sign, or rather Misner not liking these signs from Kirsch. That one doesn't find the strike zone. Looked maybe to be a 12-6 change that just did not drop quite enough. That'll bring Croson to 2-2. Again, Peter Klein and I always mention Connor Croson. If there's anybody in this lineup I want with 2 strikes to know where the strike zone is, number 10, high up on that list. That one in its shoulder level. Let's go to 3-2. For the leadoff hitter here in inning number 2 is I have a bout of the hiccups coming through. Always the best when you're commentating in the.
Well, my voice is even changing right now. Apparently, I'm going through puberty again.
Croson takes and he'll draw a walk. That one did not miss by much, but he gets the benefit of the 50-50 call. And as we said, just get guys on base for this young man. Freshly turned 23, only a decade younger than I am. But Nash.
I just learned he was 2 years older than I am.
Yeah, all you young whippersnappers.
Yeah, I didn't mean to make you feel a little older today.
My bones grind to dust. But Nash Kroll, as we said, 3 home runs last night. You have to wonder how much the Cactus Rats are going to stay away from the strike zone. They chased it there. 0-1 goes Kroll. Kroll got a hefty piece of that one, and as he talked, he doesn't wear gloves at bat, so picks at the skin on his hand there, as that one's not going to feel too good when you foul it off. Croson stands 90 feet away at first base. Not a large lead for Croson. That one will be down away. The count goes to 1-1. Folks, just to tell you, between innings there may be a bit of an audio interruption. That is to be expected. We're just starting some other things on our end to try and get you that score bug. 1-1, the count to Kroll. Kroll gets a lot of that one. It'll find some green grass, and Croson will take the easiest 90 feet to second you might ever see. Nash will hold up at first and takes off the invisible gear. Love of the game from Nash Kroll.
Likes to keep things entertaining always.
Oh, there is never an uninteresting Nash Kroll at bat. But we'll talk about the Northern Californian coming to the dish, Jaden Lusk. Lusk did not play in last night's smacking around down in Brooks. Had a good platoon of catchers, so you don't have to run them in back-to-back games.
Yeah, usually at the end of the game is when you'll see the players kind of express their feelings, we'll say, at a much more aggressive way.
Yeah, that was more just where did that catch? Caught the edge of the plate. Okay. On Croson starting to jump around, knowing he's now in the vision of the right-hander. That one well outside. How much he is getting in the mind of Misner is yet to be seen. You generally will see players have a little bit more of an active leadoff when they know the pitcher can look in their general direction. So when it's a lefty, they'll be a little bit more active at first. Try and draw the attention. Croson will watch that one as he stands at second base. It'll fly over to one of our beautiful patios here at Siemens Stadium. And just past that brand new section of seats, so we've reduced the berm a little bit. Seats are available for everything except Canada Day, from what I hear.
Yeah, it's usually it's opening day and Canada Day are the big ones.
That one up high, 2-2, the count to Lusk. My parents grabbed some for Canada Day, and they're just off to our left here, so I've always said I might have to sit out where you're sitting today just so they can hear my voice and get to listen in live here at Siemens Stadium.
Hard to believe it's almost, we're talking about Canada Day. Years just gone by like that.
Speaking of getting away like that, Lusk will golf that one into right field. The stop sign is up for Croson, and suddenly the bases are full of dogs. And there's just not a lot of guys I would put, maybe Connor Croson, Nash Kroll above this person coming to the dish. But this is Turner Zadunik. Of course, the youngest of the Zdunek brothers, and we will have to see what Turner can do. He's been hitting for power all year and also hitting for average. Of course, early season baseball stats can get inflated, but batting above 400 any time in the year is generally good. So no pitch. They're going to reset the pitcher. Nothing and nothing to Turner Zdunek. He golfs that one right up the middle. It's going to be off the glove of Misner. Misner going to shovel to third in time to get Nash. And Nash just gives the apologies to the third baseman as he might have cleated him a little bit. But the Dawgs will score a run. They'll head ahead by one as Croson crosses home plate. Call it a maybe the weirdest fielder's choice you'll see on the day, as Misner had it bounce off the tip of his glove. Batting in the 8-hole today. Hank Griffin has been the everyday second baseman for this team. We've also seen him over at third in limited duty. Only came to the plate 6 times last night. Had 2 hits and 3 strikeouts. That's where he's looking to improve today. Not going to strike out on this one, but it will be a long fly to right field. Griffin will be retired on his first pitch he sees. Goes down officially as an F9.
Definitely getting the mind of Misner, excuse me, a little bit. Like you said earlier, like being able to see the Dawgs runner on second, play the little bit of a mind games. You kind of, and especially in the bright white jersey, it's, you stand out pretty easily there. So definitely he continues to look back, but
that'll hand off to one of our Portland University Dawgs, Landon Kaufman. 1-0 the count. As there's about, I think it's 5 official Portland University Dawgs.
They seem to like it from there.
Yeah, and I think it is word of mouth from Landon Kaufman that's drawn a lot of them here to Okotoks, talking about how amazing of a program it is, as the Dawgs program is. That one outside. Let's go to 0-2 for, I know Landon's going to be upset with me for saying this, but the second shortest dog on the squad. Of course, Ricky just an inch shorter. Ricky's probably getting mad at me for saying that. But 0-2 to number 2 with 2 away, or 2-0 rather. 2 balls, no strikes. The delivery up high, and that'll be out of the strike zone for Kaufman. 3-0. I say he's shorter, but that's coming from me, who's 6'2". So I guess that kind of changes things a little bit.
I think they would be around my height. I'm sitting roughly around 5'9", so.
Oh, and I'm just seeing a video of Marcelo Zuna leaving the game today. So, hey, Eric Hartman, are you ready for a double-level call-up as Kaufman swings over top of that offering? Ooh, that is not good. Ozuna rotated planted awkwardly on first base. Yeah, I just got a call up. Eric Hartman, the longtime Dawg who's in that system, playing with the Rome Emperors. So maybe this will be an opportunity for him to fill in a hole at AAA.
That is a sick team name.
Yeah, and it's an Emperor Penguin on their hats.
Oh, that is even better.
Is that one fouled off? Is that some firewood? I think Landon Kaufman may be going for a new bat. He will. Of course, that Trevor Bauer instilling that. Love. Of lumber between his hands in a 3-2 count with 2 away. Dawgs have scored 1 to lead off this inning and to lead this game. Only 2 hits officially for the Dawgs. Would be the 2 singles in this inning. Runners go on the full count. Kaufman, hard shot to short. Will the throw be in time? It will. The Dawgs will strand a pair, but they do score the first run of the game. We'll be back with the 3rd inning after these messages.
He is our lost dog
our score bug is on. It's got to go. Do you want to text Nanny and ask her if that's on there? So, obviously we won't talk about the hits last night, but we'll talk more about how the boys were able to support you as the game went on. I'm Conrad, by the way. Nice to meet you. And this is Merrick. Our wife should say number 2. Mind speaking in that mic for me? Perfect. We had some issues with that one a little earlier today, so good to know. Perfect. So we'll just talk about the game last night. Might talk about how Marcelo Zuma just got hurt, but talk about what it's been like this so he did last night. Yeah. Not bad. It is, and we'll talk about how pitching in Brooks is difficult with that short field, and was it windy last night?
It was really windy last night, yeah. But boys backed me up.
25 officially. Yeah. All right. But we are gonna go live right now. Conrad Krauser and Merrick Robinson, and we are joined by the starter of last night's 25-7 affair, Gabe Rabick. Gabe, a tough night for you personally, but a good night for the team down in Brooks. But that's a tough part for pitchers to pitch in.
Yeah.
Yeah, only 25.
Yeah.
Yeah, but as we've seen through Brooks' history, it is a short field, and you got to experience the Brook wins. So it is what it is, and at the end of the day, we're all sports fans. Like, all that matters is the end result, really. So the boys were able to pick you up. And you have quite a battery of arms out there. Obviously, you got a bunch of the guys out of that Portland system. Got a couple of long-term dogs out there. So what does it mean to have a good group of guys out there in the bullpen and people to talk to when you're out pitching bullpens? Or
Grady Caljo and all those guys, they're phenomenal arms that come to this program helping us out in some games. And I'm happy that I'm able to come get picked up by those guys. It's, my day doesn't go so well.
Yeah, and speaking of guys picking me up, Ricky Sanchez with the throw across the diamond there. What does it mean to have a guy like Ricky that was shortlisted for shortstop of the year in the NCAA just behind you there on the mound?
Phenomenal player. Been doing it for so long. Coming to Gonzaga as a last minute recruit, just being able to start every day. What was it, 365 or something like that?
Yeah,
It's just phenomenal. Kind of got snubbed. Only second team WCC. I believe it should have been first team.
yeah. You think when you get shortlisted for an award like shortstop of the year, you'll at least be first team, but
Right? It's kind of weird, but I don't think he minds too much. He's just out here playing some baseball with the guys, enjoying his last year golf.
get a swing, right? As he's in against Micah Cervantes, the shortstop today for Energy City. Cervantes in that 9-hole, that secondary leadoff guy, as everyone has talked about.
He's got a good arm. I think he'll be as well.
Yeah, we were talking about that. He's only pitched 1 inning so far this year, but you expect him to be able to stretch that out a little bit farther. It's that one right back up the middle. Good that Pepe got out of the way of that one. It wasn't a super high velo coming off the bat. But let's talk about the arms. Like, you've got guys that have been here forever, like Brody Forno. Like, how much does that affect you, knowing he can kind of talk about all these teams in this league, kind of give you the best scouting report you can, and obviously guys like Ash Luera, who was here for 3 years. What does it mean to have guys like that in that room with you?
It's awesome to have a veteran presence in this league. Brent's is a very consistent pitcher. He's with five innings,
1 run, yeah.
Yeah. So he knows what he's doing in this league. He's adjusted it pretty well. He'll get up there one day within the summer. We'll see how that goes.
That one just high, and then you've also got that plethora of Jay's arms, including guys, the 6'8" giant AJ Rogers.
Yeah.
Yeah, not bad for a 17-year-old to be that tall and throwing in the mid-90s.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. I'm pretty sure he's in draft league right now, and he's going to get a start.
Yeah.
Good luck to him. Obviously, I feel like he's definitely got a career professional.
Stephen Fermin up at the plate for Energy City in a 3-0 count. A little bit. Well, welcome to the broadcaster curse. Is that one a 4-pitch walk? So a pair of Cactus rats on the board. Yeah, it's fair. Well, now you understand.
Yeah, it's so frustrating.
We try not to. We try our best. It's just a thing that happens. Yeah, and we talked a little bit about the defense of Ricky because he was all defensive player of the year, but you've also got Nash and Connor on your corners, the Tennessee Tech boys.
Yeah.
What does it mean to have that familiarity on the corners to you as a pitcher?
Oh, it's awesome. Those guys are awesome.
Which one has better jokes?
Oh, I think Nash does. Oh.
And another one right up the middle. Pape with the kick save, and they turned the double, but Ricky got cleated. Oh, and it was Hank.
I don't want to say slide you, though. Definitely, I don't think we need to slide that far.
But that will get the Dogs out of the inning. We'll keep you around because you got one of the shorter tops of the thirds that we could have as the twin killing gets out of that. We'll be back after these messages here on FloCollege. Are you okay with that?
Yeah.
Ooh, high slide though.
I think Danny texted. You're gonna take Fearman? You're gonna take Fearman?
When you have Brian McFarland come in and you can't get it through that hole, it's like,
why it wouldn't pop up on the actual screen.
yeah, I'll try reactivating it here. And I don't know what to do, Danny, because I reset it all last inning.
Exactly. Well, and I was trying to activate the one, activate the two. No.
We'll head into the home half of the third where the Dogs look to continue to open their lead. We'll lead off down at or up at the top of the order. It'll be Kraus, Sanchez, and Gates. Speaking of guys that have been hotter than hot, what about Cal Gates so far this year?
Dude, that's unreal. 540?
Yeah.
Something like that? Yeah, that's nuts. Especially in the Woodbat League. That's pretty incredible.
Woodbat League, one of the best defensive players we have on this roster in the outfield. Like, and insane speed on the bases, too.
Yeah.
Like, if you put him on via the single or the walk, he's probably over a third before you know it.
You can definitely see why he's a Power 5 outfielder for sure. He crushed a ball yesterday. I believe it went to center field. And, you know, one of our guys got hit yesterday. He's like, dude, I need to hit a ball really hard off this guy because he just plunked our catcher in the ribs. So, yeah.
Fair enough. Kraus off speed on the first pitch. He goes down 0-1. And again, one of these guys that started at Chandler Gilbert Community College. It seems so many of these WCBL guys get a little bit tired of saying that name, but obviously attending Indiana University now.
Yeah.
I think that's a recent commitment change too, if I'm correct.
I think he played there last year.
Oh.
So.
What do I know? I only look at my computer all day to figure this stuff out. He's down 0-2.
It's all right.
Happens.
Rounded out in his last appearance. Good eye there. But yeah, like, you've got a lot of really quality arms, and that helps, especially because we've seen, obviously, the couple of blowouts here, the 26 to 1 here, and then 25 last night. But sometimes we've had to rely on you guys throwing the ball a little bit more than you maybe would like. Check swing.
Oh, did he?
Nah, they're going to say he went.
Dude.
And it's the home plate umpire making the call. No appeal.
Check him. He's down there for a reason. Oh, my.
Yeah, and Lou Pote going to make a little bit of a wander down to speak for his guy.
I believe also the first baseman called no strike, so.
Ricardo Ricky Sanchez stepping in, officially out of Mexico City, Mexico.
How much do you let the umpire's imaginary strike box kind of get in your head if you're not getting those
Hey, there we go.
That's a good hit for Ricky.
That's just Ricky right there, man.
Ambushes the first pitch he sees, and for a guy that took a seat for a few games because he wasn't doing so great at the plate, and then comes back in and had a real good night last night and just keeps improving.
Yeah.
To the player we all know that he should be.
Yeah, he's gonna be a great guy this year. You know, go off with a bang and hopefully bring you guys back into the ring as along.
Yeah, it would only be his fourth, right?
Yeah.
That's
his 6th year, 7th year.
Yeah,
like
because
that.
he got that extra because of COVID, and that one going to be called a strike on Gates at the top of the strike zone.
You're talking about the imaginary box of the umpire. Oh, dude, it's all I think about. It's the only thing I think about out there.
Probably have it haunting your nightmares a few times as well.
Dude, yeah, sometimes.
Especially on those bad days, eh?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
There's a couple nights ago where that strike zone was the size of a dinner plate for the Dawgs against Lethbridge.
Yeah.
So
it was pretty brutal, but, you know. Is that when Skip got kicked out?
Yep.
Yeah, that was pretty inconsistent, so. I mean, it is what it is.
That one gets away from Kirsch behind the plate, allows Ricky to get an extra 90, those free 90s that often come to haunt you on the scoreboard.
Sorry.
Hey, we'll take it as Dogs, right? Take an extra free 90. And
oh, yeah.
Ricky about.
Especially with Cal at the bat.
Yeah.
Get in the scoring position, absolutely.
Ricky was on his leadoff about 3/4 of the way to second, but he'll scamper back, or 3/4 of the way to jump around a little bit.
A little bit.
That one will be chopped right up the middle. Gates is a speedster, but that underhand toss will be in time. It'll advance Ricky over, but 2 away for the Dawgs on the fielder's choice.
It's all right. I trust Crow. He'll get popping.
Hasn't hit one over the fence yet this year,
no,
but
he has not.
No time like the present.
No. Remember when I was talking about that announcer jinx? You better have just summoned something here. Yeah, there you go.
Hey, I'm not involved in that. I was quiet for that one.
No. You're good, man.
Yeah, there's the jinx, and then there's the ones where those rare occasions where you call the hit or whatever, and you look pretty good.
Yeah.
Hey, I've done it once in Connor Croson's career. I was the one who said, as he was walking up to bat 2 years ago, that the hometown boy could become the hometown legend, and then walked it off.
There you go.
So he takes for the first strike of his at-bat, go down a strike, but look at Ricky just causing chaos as Croson fouls that one off. Yeah, Connor, you kind of have to figure it's early season baseball statistics. Not going to be batting at 500 all year.
No. He'll heat up. He'll 100%,
And he's cooled off to only bat 321.
Yeah. I think he's doing fine. I think he's doing just fine.
One of the best 0-2 approaches in the WCBL. He'll have to work that here. Fouls that one off. Does that ever bug you when a guy has that long extended AB just fouling off pitches left, right, and center?
Yeah, it does.
The 12-pitch battles
100%.
he's getting to.
If you want to get into pitcher's head, you foul off like 8 pitches in a row. He'll get pretty frustrated with himself. I think that's number one way to do it.
You're always your biggest fan as a pitcher. He's trying to convince the guy behind him that was a strike, right?
Yeah. I had Locke yesterday, so he was pretty upset with the umpire the first couple innings, but
The Connor will go down swinging. The Dogs do not get to bring Ricky home. But once again, Gabe, thank you so much for joining us. I'll let you get back down to your team.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, we'll probably have you once or twice more throughout this season as you get some starts.
Go Dogs.
Go Dogs. We'll be back on the other side on FloCollege.
We're innovating.
We're about solid foundations and trust.
We're about perseverance.
We support the environment.
We support strategy and objectives.
We explore new opportunities.
We've changed our name, but not our players. Dawgs fans, if you haven't already, make sure to get a 50-50 ticket from one of our Academy players on the concourse. And scan the QR code on the back of your seat to pre-order from either our first base or third base concessions. First baseman number 9, Daniel Simmons.
There we go. Well, welcome back here to Siemens Stadium. It's one. The Energy City Cactus Rats, and that is Daniel Simmons, who struck out his first at bat and is now behind the count 0-1. Next pitch a little low to the ground, and seems to be a pretty slow kind of game so far as the fans cheer on the ball boy here. So 1-1 count here for Brody Pape. Next pitch by Pape is inside, or excuse me, not inside, but catches Simmons standing there and is now ahead of the count 1-2. It's been a pretty slow game with the Dogs having the lone run in the bottom of the second. And then 3 hits for the Dogs, 2 for Energy City. And Simmons is going to go down by to be, I don't want to say comfortable, but is doing pretty good so far. So it brings up was his 4th strikeout, excuse me? Sorry. Thank you, Conrad, for the beautiful stats. Next up is number 22, Liam Kirsch to the plate. Liam Kirsch grounded out his last at bat, the catcher for today. And our side job of being a weatherman is once again looking a little scary today. As the next pitch by Pape is a little low for ball 1. Seems to be okay now, but the clouds are definitely getting a little darker overhead Siemens Stadium. And Kirsch does not swing, and the first base umpire says he doesn't, so the count is now 2-0 as Pape looks to Pepe delivers a beautiful called strike as Kirsch just stands there and watches as the count is now 2-1. And Kirsch taking a little batter's timeout, takes a little step back. And it seems that is ball 3. So Pepe looking to try to battle back here against the count. Kirsch looking to get on base for the first time today after grounding out his first at bat. So pretty good pace to the game thus far. 3-1 count as win last night, as we've talked about a couple times during the broadcast. And then Pepe loses the ball, and and since it was deemed a wild pitch, I guess Kirsch's walked to first, but it looked like he wanted to go even further, but I think everyone was just as confused as I am. But next up, Hikaru Akita, the designated hitter for today.
Just a good hard 90 there.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like the runner was guaranteed the first base there, but he wanted to get there pretty quickly. So we got Kirsch on first, and then Akita at the dish. Akita takes a big swing and fouls just behind the fans here in Siemens Stadium. With Kirsch over there on first. Check swing for Akita does not go in his favor. He's now behind in the count, 0-2. Pepe looking to make quick work of Akita here at his second at bat. Next pitch is low, but great blocking there by Jaden Lusk as the count is now 1-2. Next pitch by Pepe gets a kite. Very good outing as it brings up the left fielder, number 21, Carson Burnett, who also was one of those 5 strikeouts as he struck out his first at bat. So Pepe giving little kind of acknowledgement to Kirsch over there on first. Doesn't seem to really bother Pepe, whatsoever. And it is going to be hit by Burnett, and it's going to be a single, advancing Kirsch to second. So that, I believe, is the 4th hit given up, or it might have been, the 3rd hit given up. The other 2 came from the center fielder, Steven Furman. And next up at the dish is number 26, the third baseman, Seiji Umezawa. He at his first at bat, I don't have it written down.
Seiji hit into the 6-3 ground out in his first plate appearance.
So he had to ground out his first at bat. Runners on first and second here with 2 outs in the top of the 4th. And Pepe throws a beautiful strike right down the middle that throws Umezawa.
Right at the knees, and it did have quite a bit of movement to it, so it wasn't quite right down the middle the whole way.
Conrad just has a better eye for the ball than I do. I'm still learning. And Umezawa is going to get a lot off that pitch, and it's going to be gone. That is a 3-run home run for Seiji Umezawa as the Energy City Cactus Rats are now leading the Okotoks Dawgs 3-1.
Yeah, just they pitched low in the zone and golfed out, using the advantage of the wind that has begun to pick up here at Siemens Stadium to put that one near the core 4 corner. And
yeah, that once that contact was made, I think that ball was pretty much guaranteed gone. So now it brings up the shortstop, the number 1, Micah Cervantes, who at his first plate appearance grounded out. So he'll be following up a pretty hard thing as Umezawa just hit the 3-run homer. So Papai looking to make quick work after that and looking to get the Dogs back on the offensive here, as there is still 2 outs here in the top of the 4th.
And is that tough thing when you allow a free
Next
runner
hit,
there?
and Sanchez helps make quick work of that inning with the flyout. So Energy City gets a 3-run home run courtesy of Umezawa, and now lead the Okotoks Dogs 3-1 here on FloCollege.
May the owner of a Toyota
For over a century, we've been more than just lawyers. We're your neighbors, your friends, and your strongest advocates. With locations across the prairies, we're everywhere you are. Stringham, your local lawyers.
For more than 25 years, we've been there, helping Canadians find the extra space they need to grow and to create new memories. Access Storage. Buy Canadian, store Canadian.
This summer, celebrate 20 years of Dawgs baseball at legendary Seaman Stadium, voted the best ballpark in summer collegiate baseball. From the crack of the bat to the energy of the crowd, there's nothing like a night with the Okotoks Dawgs. Bring the whole family for affordable, family-friendly entertainment, unforgettable moments, and some years, one incredible tradition. Your summer starts with the Okotoks Dawgs. Get your tickets now and be part of the legacy.
At the plate, especially after last night, the belated birthday man, Nash Kroll, at his first at bat, he singled, so.
Singled and then.
To kind of bring a little comeback here in Seaman Stadium as Meisner, steps off.
Yeah, and the Energy City Cactus Rats are beginning to warm up a pitcher down in their bullpen.
It looks like the same for the Okotoks Dogs over here as well. Nash with a big swing and miss for strike 1.
Nash taking a big hack at a ball. I am shocked.
Right? It's like double rainbow. Basically the same odds to see both. Nash is going to be patient for that pitch, and that is the right choice, as it was a little bit to the outside, and that one had a bit of movement coming from the right side and ending up on the left side if you're the pitcher. So the 1-1 count here. Another pitch low. And he finds himself ahead of the count.
Yeah, Kroll has been very disciplined thus far this season at the plate.
Next pitch is up high for ball 3, so Nash's patience here is definitely paying off at this at bat. Maybe the new age wisdom has kicked in for Nash today.
Yeah, and he is going on an on-base percentage of .564,
and he'll end up on base again as he is walked to first, and so the start of the bottom of the 4th is a good one for the Dogs, as that brings up Jaden Lusk, who singled his last at bat. And
anytime you can get that leadoff guy on base is such an advantage. I think I was trying to figure out the stats on it and can't quite remember, but if I recall correctly, when you lead off
the way it's always like because now you have a runner on almost score, not necessarily almost on scoring position as Lusk takes a high ball 1, but almost like you get even the second guy, or you almost allow yourself to have the 1 out and give yourself a nice cushion almost.
We're in that righty on lefty matchup, so you would think Lusk somewhat advantaged here.
A little bit, but next pitch called strike, so Lusk finds himself 1-1. Yeah, the lefty to righty combo is it's kind of funny to look at, but it also looks a bit backwards when it's the other way around, having the pitcher be the lefty and the batter be right-handed. But there's just those little things in baseball that just give you those slight edges, as Nash is taking a big lead off and almost decided to go for it. Nash took a awkward slide back to first.
He got hit by the baseball right on the lower back.
Ouch. Well, he's okay. I thought Nash was about to book it. He almost got himself halfway
I
to
think he would have been smarter to just go to second instead of turning and sliding back to first, because as was, we'll call it a third of the way to second, and he's not taking as big of the lead on this pitch.
Yeah, he's staying pretty close to first here, as Lusk does not swing and is the right decision as he finds himself ahead 2-1 in the count.
Yeah, Kirsch turns around to ask Brad Johnson where that one missed, and I'm sure he said low.
Yeah, just Nash still staying very close to first as the next pitch is outside, and Lusk finds himself 3-1. So Dawgs starting the inning pretty good so far. Don't think Nash is going to book it to second this at bat.
Yeah, I think he'll wait. Maybe on the 3-2 you'll see the Nash dash.
Swing, it's going to end up foul, and it's going to get, and the big bang hitting the roof of Siemens Stadium. So Lusk now finds himself with the full count here.
Yeah, and it's interesting seeing Lou Pote over at first base, because as we know, it's still waiting on the appearance of Big Bear Mitch Schmidt to come back from Bellevue Community College. Of course, now no longer co-managers, they've given that all the way to Lou. And
Lusk is going to hit it over, and unfortunately for the wow,
they will get the twin killing.
Great play there by the first baseman. That would be Daniel Simmons, who was able to make the catch off the bag, but in midair ended up tagging Lusk for the second out. So that brings up number 7, Turner Zdunek, and his first at bat was a fielder's choice. So I believe, if my baseball knowledge is done well for me, is still 0-0 at bat?
Technically, yes.
There we go. We're learning slowly but surely, and takes a big swing for strike 1. So,
as I said earlier, Turner Zdunek has been hitting for power and for average, averaging over 400 on the year thus far, and it was one of the team leaders in RBI despite not playing every day.
And next pitch, will be hit foul. So Zdunek finds himself down the count 0-2, and it's unfortunate for the Dawgs, because having 2 on for Zdunek would have been a pretty good spot for them.
Hey, even one we've seen lots of times, throws that pull the first baseman off the bag lead to at least having someone on, but just right in the right place to make the tag.
The play by Simmons, I thought, once I saw him kind of jump away from the bag, I thought Lusk was going to be able to find himself getting there safely, but Simmons ends up catching it, and then while in midair making the tag. So great heads-up play, as Zdunek is going to get a high hit from this, and it is going to be caught by the center fielder, Stephen Furman, to end the inning. So the Dawgs almost could have do not get something going, as a double play kind of spoils their plans. So we head to the top of the 5th here on FloCollege.
And loaded. Silva t-shirts brought to you by our proud friends over at Leading Edge Physiotherapy. We're on the first and third base side. Looking for some fans. We got any fans? All right.
So a bit of miscommunication there for the Dawgs. Pepe stepped over the first baseline, so he will have to face at least the first batter here. One of those rules that's we've seen actually come to play in the MLB this year, the pitcher not knowing they weren't supposed to go out. So, but since he came onto the field to play, he'll have to at least.
But kind of puts a weird kind of fork into things for the Dawgs, as obviously they had their pitcher warmed up and ready, and now he is to kind of just wait around for the first batter, and then
yeah, he'll go down in the dugout.
So Pepe looking to end with a hopefully on a good note here in the top of the fifth. So this game
that's got to be tough for Pepe too.
Yeah.
Mentally, you're like, oh, I'm out of this game. My day is done.
And then you're
after going a full 4.
And then you got to go just right back into that mindset, right? And especially as a pitcher these days, it's definitely not one of the easiest things to do, especially coming up to the dish. Is the guy who has been probably the best so far, besides Umezawa with the 3-run home run, is Stephen Furman, who has back-to-back singles on Pepe. And it looks like a little bit of drizzle from the sky is slowly and hits a foul off Pepe for a 0-1 count.
Yeah, that's probably why Lupo wanted to go to a new pitcher to start the inning, knowing it is the hot bat coming up, but just the miscommunication, not telling Pepe he was out of the game, or telling him a little too late after he stepped over that white line. Is that one well outside, well handled by Lusk on the backhand?
Yeah, it's just, especially with how, like, it feels like pitchers are like goalies. Like, they have to have a set routine, right? Next pitch by Pepe is outside for ball 2. But almost, it's like when you get taken out of the game, and like even as a goalie, you don't expect to be thrown right back in.
Yeah, you're not expecting the Chad Johnson, Mike Smith goalie fight.
No, exactly. Or the Roberto Luongo go to the bathroom. Next pitch by Pepe, also outside for ball 3.
I was in the building.
Goalie fights. This season there was 3, but before that, like, not really. The next hit is going to be fair. And what a play by Croson on third to get the out. And
are they saying that one was foul?
I thought Croson played that.
Yeah, they're going to say it was foul.
Okay. I thought Croson played that just before it rolled down the foul
I thought
line.
it was fair as well.
That's the second time that there's been an iffy call from that exact foul line. Just this time it was for the Dawgs on the defensive end. The other time it was bottom of the 9th. So we're back to a
full count.
Full count here, just to the scoreboard, as everyone, including our scoreboard operator, thought that was a fair play, but umpire says it's not, as the count is now 3-2 again.
Out of this game, not.
Yeah, Pepe's probably like, really, I gotta stay here again, but is going to get him struck out. Pepe now ready to leave the game on a very high note.
And it's almost like, you remember when Adam Nacko, another WCBL alum, did that. He was told he needed 2 outs and started walking to the Blue Jays dugout.
Yep.
Pepe was doing the same thing. You gotta wait for your manager, young man. And
so just giddy to be done, but I think honestly, it worked out probably the best for Pepe. Obviously, the guy that's not the home run guy, but the guy who's been able to get the most hits off you, and you're able to strike him out. Same result, and you could argue that the phrase "ball don't lie" definitely works in this scenario, as after the missed or non-missed foul fair ball call, immediately strikes him out.
And he will be handing off.
Looks to be number.
It is going to be 35. That's going to be the affiliate player, Jack Thompson.
Jack Thompson.
Of course, he's probably going to be listed in our stat sheet as a high number. Actually, he has not come in this year, so is not yet on the stat sheet. He actually is. Jack Thompson has appeared in 3 games. He started off on the game on the 29th against Sylvan went 1 inning pitched, 1 strikeout on 12 pitches, and came in against Lethbridge on the 3rd. Had a bit of a rough outing in that one, only went 0.1 of an inning, 2 hits, 3 runs, 3 errors, or three of those runs earned, rather. 2 walks and only 1 strikeout, but then came back in against Fort McMurray on the 6th and was back to his previous ways. Walked 1, struck out 1, going a full inning, so his 4th appearance of this year.
I gotta give you I gotta find like a catchy nickname that involves your name and statistician, because I don't know where you're getting these stats, because I've looked near and far and I've not been able to find them ever.
Ballclubs.com/WCBL for all of your stats needs for across the WCBL. And that's Ballclubs with a Z. So /WCBL at the end of that, and you'll get right there. Oh, and I am incorrect. That's Aaron Taka.
Oh, Aaron Taka, number 35. I do want to give a little shout out to Conrad for this amazing website that will not leave my browser until the dog season is over. So we are wrong. It is not Jack Thompson. It is Aaron, Taka.
I have no stats on Aaron Taka for this season.
Shout out. Yeah, you just numbers aren't always attached to the same names, right? So
100%. Some of these APs they'll hand off, and it'll be a new guy. Let me see if he's filled out our survey.
While Conrad looks at that, it is currently 4-3 for the Carolina Hurricanes for your out-of-town Stanley Cup Final scoreboard. So make of that, I guess, what you will, but definitely a series that has definitely saved the playoffs, if you want to make that argument. But it looks like Taka is going to throw the first pitch, and it's going to be caught by Nash, who's going to underhand it to Taka for the second out of the inning. And
Taka barely touched that first base.
That was a little risky. I'm not sure exactly who he just got out. Excuse me. I believe that was Dan Kawanishi. Thank you very much.
Yeah, their second baseman today.
So that brings up Riley Kwok to the dish. He struck out his first at bat. And first pitch is ball by Taka, who is making very quick work of this inning, obviously coming in with 1 out, but didn't take him long to get one himself.
Yeah, working real quickly. And
next ball, 2, a little bit high.
Just a little bit more on that out-of-town scoreboard as I incorrectly put things onto the scoreboard that you guys can't even see anyways. The Medicine Hat Mavericks, they trailed the Saskatoon Berries by a score of 4-0 in the bottom of the 5th.
Next pitch a little bit inside for ball 3.
Yeah,
so
sometimes when you haven't pitched at this level and you're coming into your first appearance, sometimes it will lead to those being a little bit wilder. The other games in action, the Moose Jaw Miller Express up 4-9 over
pitch by, sorry, excuse me.
Over the 57s after that nice pitch.
Thank you very much. There we go. Look at that. We just work off each other. Just finish each other's
sentences or sandwiches, whichever you were referencing.
Ooh, and another beautiful pitch by Taka as the count is now full. He has crawled his way back.
Yeah, Quack was sitting on the fastball, got the off speed, was way out in front, couldn't hold that bat through the zone any longer.
Next is going to be able, and it's going to be hit into the left field, excuse me, as oh my goodness, as Riley Kwok is going to get to first, and that brings up Daniel Simmons, who struck out, I believe, his last at bat.
Yeah, he's 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts on the afternoon. Your other game that is going on, the Lethbridge Bulls, they trail the Sylvan Lake Gulls 5-0, and in the wonderful state of Saskatchewan, Weyburn and Regina were supposed to play today, but that game has been postponed. That one's not too far away from each other.
As that Simmons is going to get that high, and it's going to be caught by the second baseman, Hank Griffin, to end the inning. So the score remains the same, 3-1, and we will be heading to the bottom of the 5th as the Dogs look to try to even things up here on FloCollege.
For over a century, we've been more than just lawyers. We're your neighbors, your friends, and your strongest advocates. With locations across the prairies, we're everywhere you are. Stringham, your local lawyers.
And we are back with the home part of the fifth. We mentioned that there's a long warm-up session going on here out in the Cactus Rats dugout, or a bullpen rather, but nobody coming on. They will allow Meisner to continue against the guy who ended the top half of the inning, Hank Griffin.
Yeah, so number 6, Hank Griffin. He flew out his last at bat, and during our interview early on in the third, he's been one of the Dawgs' probably hottest players, one of them at least thus far. As first pitch is going to,
ooh, that one.
He's going to hit the catcher in probably a spot he's not going to want it to hit, Liam Kirsch.
Well, it hits that spot above the knee.
Seems to walk it off as Hank Griffin can only apologize after the foul tip, but I don't think you can even get mad at him specifically for that.
But a veteran umpire, Brad Johnson, he says, I'll go walk this ball out to your pitcher and give you a few extra seconds. He motioned you out right to the inside of the thigh.
Yeah, that's...
I was a catcher, and the amount of times I came home with bruises, and I'm like, oh, right, that was in this inning, yeah.
Remember, I fell on some wet steps, and the inside of my thigh just died, and it was a very hard walk home after that one. Griffin is going to get a big hit off that, and it's going to...
What a catch.
Wow, what a diving grab by the left fielder, I believe. Carson Burnett sprawling out to make that grab for the first out. I thought Griffin, if that got through, Griffin almost could have got home, arguably, with his wheels. That brings up an... Or excuse me, he grounded out his first at bat.
And that's the Hank Griffin's second flyout. He's hit to either side of the field, and you know that wind, you were hoping that would help the ball die into left field. That one swung over top of.
Yeah, you almost, unfortunately that wind has only really helped Energy City during that 3-run homer by Umezawa, but Dawgs looking to kind of crawl back. It's been pretty slow for them since the bottom of the second where they got their one and only run.
So I'm not superstitious as that one fouled off by Coffin, but I'm a little stitious.
Yeah.
The boys need to get rid of the purple gloves. Go talk to our friends over at Grand Slam Sports, of course, Pablo Forno. Get some white gloves. I'm convinced that the purple gloves are bad juju.
Yeah, that I guess that.
Of course, the guys from Portland and Tech are going to say, no, we're going to keep those on.
Exactly. Next pitch to Kaufman is outside for ball 1. Yeah, when everyone tells me that they're not a little superstitious, like everyone has a little stitious in them, right? So maybe that could be the key. And like you just said, maybe some players will not want to take it off due to their colleges.
And we've already seen Connor Croson ditch the purple gloves, and he's been doing all right. That one might be a tough play.
And Kaufman is going to get there.
I don't think you can call that an error. That's a tough ball to run down for Seiji Umezawa.
Yeah, it's kind of just in an awkward spot.
So the base hit graphic is up, so we will call that a single.
So that brings up back to the top of the order for Aiden Krause, number 5. He grounded out his first at bat, and I believe, I'm not sure what he
went down looking in his second at bat.
Yeah, I think
Well, you were talking about, we were in our interview mode.
That is true, so I had to pay attention to other things as the pickoff attempt for Kaufman on second is unsuccessful.
Yeah, Minsner hasn't really been that active on the base paths. Well, he did plunk Nash Kroll right in the lower back. So.
Yeah, after Nash basically got himself halfway to second, but was able to get back.
The Dawgs always aggressive on the base paths.
Krause is going to hit it and it is hit foul. Nearly caught by the first baseman, Daniel Simmons. Bit of an awkward catch, kind of over the shoulder.
And it's always so hard with that first baseman's mitt too. Not quite as agile when you're reaching over the shoulder.
It's almost like those, like when you're catching a football, for example, it's coming over the shoulder. You got to look up and then watch it come into your hands and just hope it's in the. Gets a little lucky there, but he's now 0-1 in the count. And is going to get past third base for a fair call, as Kaufman is going to go from first, and he's going to try to get home from this, and it looks like he will. Landing Kaufman, what a run from first to home, as the Dawgs get a run and bring it within 1-run games. What a hit there by Kraus to get onto second and bring home Aiden Kraus. And that brings up the fan favorite, Ricky Sanchez.
But talking about that hit by Aiden Kraus, Kraus painted that along the line, allowing him to get into second standing up, and bold move there by Landon Kaufman. Thought he needed that extra stride and gets in standing up. Of course, the throw didn't end up coming in. It got cut off.
But he was able to get home nonetheless. Great base running, like you said, just before that hit. Ironically, that Dawgs are very aggressive, and that kind of just proved it. Him just turning on the burners and just gunning it home. So that brings up Ricky Sanchez, who struck out his first at bat, and I believe
he singled and then stole in his second at bat.
And he was stranded on third, right? So Sanchez looking to kind of get back into the groove. Already kind of having a decent game on the bats, as Kraus is getting some attention from Mitzer. First pitch down low for ball one.
And it was that ambush of the first pitch Ricky saw in his last at bat.
Next pitch. Ball, so could have been the right choice, as when those when you get the baseball spinning a lot, those can definitely affect the way where you want the ball to go right off the bat, especially.
And I believe that was Andy Peterson at third with the late sign there. I can't tell if it's him or Joe over at third.
Next pitch is a little close inside for ball two.
Yeah, and Ricky not wearing that now common longer protective glove on that bottom hand. But Ricky, again, one of those on-base percentage leaders for this squad.
Next pitch low and in the dirt.
You saw him immediately throw up that stop sign saying the ball didn't get away. Don't go.
Dawgs have some great on-base communication, not only with the coaches, but also the players. Like, just the heads-up play.
Yeah, as they go for their fourth championship in 5 years. Obviously, were denied their fourth in a row last year. Didn't even make it to the finals.
Yeah, lost round two, I believe, to Sylvan Lake. Ricky's going to get some contact of that, but it's going to be hit foul towards their pitchers.
Oh, and one of the pitchers in the pen made the catch. Was it the bullpen catcher?
Look, might be the bullpen catcher, actually. A round of applause to whoever caught that.
The most underappreciated position in baseball.
Oh, 100%.
Not even a position in the MLB. Of course, it's like a coaching staff scout combined. 3-2 to Ricky. Long wait from Minsner.
And Sanchez is going to get a big hit off that. And it is gone! Ricky Sanchez with the double home run, as he allows the Dawgs to go up 4-3 now here in the bottom of the fifth. If any player on the Dawgs needed that, it was Ricky Sanchez.
Yeah, as I said, Ricky had been struggling at the plate, but uses the wind assist to get it over onto that core floor, plus 14.
Just look at the dugout for the Okotoks Dawgs, as they are ecstatic for Ricky. And it looks like Nash Kroll's bringing out the dog cone for Ricky. the seemingly the home run type of design as all Major League Baseball teams have. The Jays with the home run jacket for the Dogs.
And that will be the end of the night for Seb Minsner.
So he started off pretty hot and kind of kept the Dogs out of it, and Ricky Sanchez helps bring them back. What a hit. Again, like I said earlier,
For over a century, we've been more than just lawyers. We're your neighbors, your friends, and your strongest advocates. With locations across the prairies, we're everywhere you are. Stringham, your local lawyers.
multi-home runs and you get to call some home runs, it's a great day. But I guess only if they're for the Dogs. We like to align ourselves as a non-biased. We like to say we're non-biased, but we are.
We're the home team broadcast.
Exactly. You almost have to be, right?
And I can't see the back number. The one thing I don't like, even though the numbers are high vis, can't see the ones on the front very well.
I don't even know if they have numbers.
Yeah, they do.
Oh my goodness.
They're just very tough to see.
I want to guess. I think it looks like number 11. I could be very mistaken.
Well, we'll wait for our friend Mike Mahoney to announce that one.
Oh, might be 18.
We'll figure it out. But yeah, just a solid 18 is officially the number for that.
Dogs fans here happy about
and that's Aiden Beck.
Aiden Beck is the new pitcher for the Cactus Rats.
Of course, Cactus Rats, for those of you who are not initiated, that obviously if you've looked at their logo, you'll know that is a nickname for a porcupine. I actually did not know that. So the more you know, I guess. I guess it kind of looks like a rat and kind of has some cactus-like elements to it. But Aiden Beck only appeared in one game thus far. That was at Sylvan on the 3rd. Went 3 innings pitched, allowed 2 hits, 2 runs, 1 of them earned, 2 walks, 1 strikeout on 50 pitches. So another arm that can go for a couple of innings.
Interesting. They kept Minsner in there for quite a while, almost kind of more than you would think, especially in this league.
Yeah, it goes 4 point some, or 4.1 as his night is over. And hey, bringing in a new pitcher for Cal Gates, one of the hottest in the WCBL, 543 with 2 home runs coming into today. Maybe he'll join the parade. Oh, and I think he might have wanted to jump that high heater.
I thought he was going to, but ball 1, a bit of a friendly call, but yeah, you almost just want to keep the onslaught going, get as many runs as you can. As next pitch is to the outside for ball 2, and again,
and it's tough for a righty with the wind blowing as they are. You have to adjust your aim spot, so the 2 pitches missing outside, not that big of a shock.
No, exactly. Next pitch. With 3-0.
And you don't want to put him on base for free because, as I said, I think he's currently the leader in steals.
That, and I don't think they like who's the next 2 at-bats, as Cal Gates is going to be walked. And they brings up Connor Croson, and we know who's behind him, so.
So, as I said, Cal Gates, I think he's leading the league in steals. He has 11 steals on the year.
Can you remind me how many games the Dogs have played?
I actually can't remember. I think this is game 8.
So he's more than a steal per game.
Oh, yeah.
Which is insane. And this is not the big 3 that are coming up between Gates, Croson, and Kroll are not the big 3 you want to mess around with.
Incorrect. This is game number 10.
Oh, still.
So it's still above a steal a game.
Exactly. And it could change. You never know. See exactly what the strike zone is, as that's the beauty of baseball, is it's never the same for every batter.
Well,
yeah, you like to
for
think
now.
so.
Until the robo-umps come, and that one gonna be bent in for a strike. Croson disagrees.
And so do the fans here at Seaman Stadium.
Yeah, as we see the umbrellas starting to come out for a few of the fans in attendance. I see at least one over on our left. Big white running horse. pointing our general direction for a certain other team that calls Calgary home. 0-2 count to Croson. Runner goes. Croson will be struck out. Can't quite commit the strike him out, throw him out, but
I think we could say we called that one. Cal Gates gets his 12th stolen base of the year, and that brings Nash Kroll to the plate, who's looking to bring
if there's a guy that can put it in the air pretty good, it's Nash Kroll. 393 on the year. And as we said, that trio of home runs, putting him up the RBI leaders as well with 13 RBIs. That'll happen when you have 9 in a single game.
Yeah, and your stats will definitely look more on the positive side after a big run game like he did last night. First pitch he sees is going to be called strike.
Kroll just nods, says, yeah, that was inside, okay. Now I know where that line is. As the lights are now on at Siemens Stadium with the cloud cover coming in, it'll be a beautiful sunset.
Next is a big swing there by Kroll for strike 2. So Nash found himself down in the count. Does he have any of that belated birthday magic still left in him? Or did he leave it all in Brooks?
I was joking with him, are you allowed to hit home runs not on your birthday? He said, I guess we'll see. Good opportunity here with the winds whipping in Okotoks as he fouls that one off.
Is going to get contact.
Oh, they're going to say he didn't make contact. They're going to say that was just a drop third strike, so Kroll will be out.
And that will retire the innings. So the Dawgs get a 2-run home run thanks to Ricky Sanchez and now lead the Energy City Cactus Rats 4-3 here on FloCollege.
Brought to you by Eyes 360. It's the Gatling gun.
Wild and woolly west of all sprang up overnight. And as in most western towns, the biggest challenge of all was who's the fastest gun alive? I'm the fastest gun alive. You're not. Community College, number 19, Nolan Jackson.
Hello? Oh, there we are. Sorry about that. As we are now back here for the top of the 6th, the Okotoks Dawgs have a new pitcher. It is Nolan Jackson, number, I believe, looks to be number 19 for the Dawgs. So, Ricky said, just to recap the last inning, Ricky Sanchez with a 2-run homer to help put the Dawgs up 4-3 over Energy City. If there was, Ricky Sanchez definitely was, I don't think everyone was really seeing that home run, but the wind helped him out and was a beautiful hit nonetheless. And if anyone needed that one, it was Ricky. So, we will be here.
The live sports experience is changing. Teams and facilities are under pressure to provide online and in-venue entertainment. IKS Live has the right team to deliver.
Who earlier in last inning took a bit of an awkward hit with a pitch on his, looks to be his upper knee, and seems to be okay now as he and Jackson look to, or he looks to face Jackson and be the first batter for him. And is going to be hit to Kroll over there on first, who's going to make the easy walk to first base for the first out of the inning. Still looking okay when it comes to the rain. The part-time job of weatherman never rests for being baseball. So number 10, Hikaru Akita, number 10, the designated hitter at the dish after Jackson made quick work of Kirsch. His first pitch is strike 1. Next pitch is going to be hit in. Jackson's going to try to field it. He's going to try to throw it to Nash. It's going to get past him, unfortunately. And it looks like Hank Griffin's going to make the run as Akita is going to make his way all the way to third base before he is stopped by Croson. A bit of a awkward, I don't want to know if it was an error or just an awkward kind of play for Nash, unable to field it as it allows
sure that will be an E1 at the end of the day.
Yeah, it looks like it will be a little unfortunate play. Throw was a little low, unfortunate for Nash, who tried not only catching it, but also kind of keeping his foot on the bag. So, like we said, it is Carson Burnett at the dish.
Yeah, that one's a tough play, and especially for a younger pitcher to know to just eat that, sometimes not your first instinct.
Exactly. First pitch for Burnett is in the dirt for ball one. Yeah, you don't necessarily expect to have to field right away, as Burnett is going to make contact. It's going to be caught, but I guess it bounced off the ground. It's hard for me to see, but the Cactus Rats are going to bring outs here at the top of the 6th inning.
Yeah, just a little chopper, well played there by Griffin to charge it and get it over to Nash.
So that brings up the one guy who hit the home run to put Energy City up. That is CJ Umezawa. First pitch is low and ball one. So
I believe it's Seiji, but
Seiji, excuse me.
You and Mike have been saying it that way.
Hey, my first name is Marek. It's not the easiest name to always say right away.
Well,
so
Canadians know it from Marek Wyszynski.
That is true. There's a couple hockey players, Marek Zidlicki.
Yeah, people don't know my name. Conrad apparently is a hard one.
Yeah, that is true. I cannot say I've met another Conrad, as the next pitch is low, and it looks like Jackson is going to be behind in the count, 3-0. Nearly going to hit him as Seiji is going to get walked. And that brings up the shortstop number 1, Micah Cervantes.
Yeah, you never like to walk in the bottom half of the order, especially in a team that I believe Cervantes is that secondary leadoff guy, that 9-hole hitter that's expected to just be a high on-base percentage player. And you have to imagine that Umezawa going to be a little bit of a speedster out at first, the third baseman.
And he's actually going to burn to second. It's going to get called ball, and he's going to get to second. So, like Conrad just said, his wheels were on full display there as he is able to steal second base.
Yeah, good play by Lusk. Just barely trapped that one. Not going to make the mistake of throwing that one into center field and allowing another run to score in a tied game. And Energy City actually up 6-2.
Again, so that's 6 consecutive balls that have been called for Jackson.
Yeah, just not finding the bottom of that strike zone, just below the knee on each of his offerings.
Jackson taking his time on this one, trying to compose himself while keeping an eye on Umezawa on second. And it's going to be hit by Cervantes into the left field, and it's going to be caught. What a play there by Landon Kaufman to help retire the inning. So Energy City ties the game at 4 as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning here on Flow Sports.
The Okotoks Dawgs would like to extend a very happy birthday to the following fans joining us at the game tonight. Dawgs fans. Also celebrating his birthday, 3-time Special Olympic world medalist and an all-around great guy, Brett Garth. Happy birthday, Reese Penner. Happy 26th wedding anniversary to Dave and Corey Fisher. And we'd like like to welcome special guest Dave McFarland, the father of Dawgs alumni pitcher Ryan McFarland. Fans, it is the last call to purchase your 50-50 tickets. Please visit one of our Academy players walking around the concourse or visit them in either our first base or third base 50-50 tables. The 6th inning is brought to you by Superior Propane.
And welcome back here in the bottom of the 6th inning as Jaden Lusk is at the dish for the Dawgs, and they look to extend, or looks to get back to their lead, after giving up a solo run in the top of the 6th. Same pitcher, Aiden Beck for the Cactus Rats, as Lusk is going to get contact, and it's going to be a single as it gets in between the left fielder and the shortstop. So
yeah, that little bloop single, just putting it up in the air and allowing the wind to kind of curve it into left field there, and doesn't always need to be the hardest hit baseball to get on base.
Exactly, and that's exactly the start you need, especially right away off first pitch and first swing. Brings up Turner Zadunik, who with runners on base is probably one of the guys you want to be at the dish right now. And he's going to make clean work of Beck and advance Lusk to second and get him to first. So 2 pitches for Beck in the bottom of the 6th and 2 hits given. So that brings up number 6. That is going to be Hank Griffin, who once again, this is the kind of guy the Dawgs want on at the plate with 2 runners on. Again, almost seems like you can say that about everyone.
Yeah,
really.
There's no safe port in the storm here in Okotoks. They have to think Hank Griffin's going to be trying to put something into right field, at least to advance runners. And he's had a interesting spray pattern today. He's flown out to right and to left, just trying to put something off or over that outfield fence.
Would it be bold of me to assume that this next pitch there will be contact made?
Well, the Dawgs have been looking to ambush these first pitches. That one nowhere near the strike zone, so
Ball
hey,
one.
Good eye.
Yeah, and a benefit call for him and his patience. Arguably, baseball is one of the games that teaches you the most about patience, when to swing, when not to swing.
What do you say? You got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them.
Exactly.
Ooh.
And it's an unfortunate bunt, but it's
well,
good.
It's with no strikes in the count.
True. I guess if it was caught, it would be more unfortunate. As Griffin goes for the little sneaky bunt, and it is hit foul.
That suicide squeeze, knowing you're gonna likely end up out at the end of it, but
hey, that's why they call it a big sacrifice bunt. You make a play for the team.
Yeah, especially in a tight game like this where you've been trading back and forth all afternoon, or evening rather.
Yeah, and like you said earlier, this is with high pitch there for Griffin.
Griffin had to get the bat out of the way. You know, it's more common in wiffle ball where you intentionally throw it at the bat, but that one looked, okay, I'm just going to throw it at the bat on your shoulder if you're not going to take it off.
You don't want to duck, and then the ball that was about to hit your head hits your bat, so 2-1 count here. Energy City doesn't look like they've taken many days off. They've been pretty good so far through the game. As another big kind of...
It was the off-speed, bend in towards the batter.
3-1 is the count.
And hey, if you get hit by an off-speed, at least it's not a four-seamer coming at you.
I couldn't even imagine. I was afraid, like, when I was a kid and I was playing, like, Little League and kids my age were pitching, I was scared of the ball because every time it came even close to me. Griffin is going to make clean work of that, and is that going to get into the gap? It is not. It's going to be caught by the right fielder, and no runners will advance.
I think that's short-sighted by the Dawgs. Not being closer to tag up on that hit to right field. Not having Lusk a little bit closer.
So that brings up Landon Kaufman. Mistaken. I think he was the first runner home.
Yeah, he was the single that led to that home run.
First pitch Kaufman sees is called strike. So Beck's trying to find a groove here in the bottom of the 6th. This game's been going on just fine, and knock on wood, you don't see any rain there. seems to be avoiding it, but next pitch is high. That's going to allow both runners to advance. Lusk is going to make his way to third, and then Zadunik is going to make his way to second. So this at-bat just got even more crucial for both Aiden Beck and for Landon Kaufman.
Oh, and interesting, you don't see this a lot in the WCBL, but I think Energy City is using a pitch comm.
Oh.
So, because I saw the earpiece come out, either that's the radio from the coaching in the dugout to relay the pitches into the
going to make contact, but it doesn't look like any runners are going to move, and he is going to be out at first. Zadunik and Lusk were debating on just sprinting, but made the right call, and fortunately just
smart play by Cervantes to watch down the runner the whole way before eventually turning.
100%. You gotta, that's one of the things, you gotta keep your head on a swivel, you gotta make the right play, and Aiden Kraus is up next. He's grounded out doubled, and is that it, or I could be mistaken?
I went down looking in the third.
So 1 for 3 thus far.
And the wind is whipping so hard that it is bending the flagpoles out in left center field here in Okotoks.
Yeah, so definitely going to be weird for both the pitchers and beneficial for the batters if they can get it in the air.
Get it in the air towards left field and just hope it stays fair.
Clipped by Beck, who's going to make the play to first to end the inning. Unfortunate play there for the Dawgs as they are heading to the top of the 7th, tied 4-4 here on FloCollege.
Beautiful field during every evening game. We'd also like to thank our trusted lawn care sponsors, Spruce It Up. Check out Spruce It Up for all your lawn care needs.
Pitching for your Dogs attending the University of Houston, number 30, Max McCrary.
New pitcher on the mound for the Okotoks Dawgs, Max McCrary, in at wearing number 30. 3 pitches, fastball, slider, changeup. The fastball in the high 80s, low 90s. He has come in 3 times for the Dawgs before today. His last appearance was against the Fort McMurray Giants on the 6th, where he went 1 inning, only threw 12 pitches. 1 hit, no runs, 1 strikeout. So let's see what McCrary can bring today as he looks to keep the Dogs within striking distance, not allowing that line to move. He'll get a first pitch fouled off the foot of the first batter he sees. We're back to the top of the order with Steven Fermin.
Yeah, it's been a honestly a pretty good game thus far. Both teams have definitely had their fair shares of runs scored and runs not scored. So pretty close game too, nonetheless.
Fermin swings over the top of that offering. He's down 0. Sat down swinging.
That was 3 pitchers ago.
Yeah, crazy. Inside called ball. Just off the inside of the plate there for McCrary.
Starting to get a little chilly here at Siemens Stadium as well.
McCrary, the Texan, on the mound. Probably not used to this summer chill or early spring chill. Is that one trying to use the high heat to induce the swing, but we'll go to 2-2 for McCrary. McCrary gets the swing, a second strikeout on the record for Fermin, and we'll go to the second out after the first out.
To the inning for McCrary there. You just honestly can't even picture a better start, especially with how close this game has been. Just kind of getting any sort of momentum, both defensively and offensively for the Dogs, is exactly what they need.
Max McCrary out of the Woodlands, Texas. Not used to seeing many city or town names that start with the. That one's gonna clip the batter, so 1 strikeout, 1 hit by pitch. I didn't hear that one at all, but you saw Kawanishi pointing to his thigh, just barely hit the batter. So that'll bring Kroll to mark the bag, and that'll hand over to Riley Kvak. I've said his name like 4 different ways in the series of the game. I apologize. Kwok, I'm hearing, is the correct pronunciation. I'm sure I said that earlier and wrote it down right somewhere. That one from McCrary, well outside, and oh boy, having to dance his way back was Kawanishi.
Yeah, he looked like he wanted to burn and turn there, but
didn't get far enough away from Lusk to allow him to.
Yeah, Lusk is one of the guys that is very good at not only blocking, but he's very, very good ball awareness. Even if he doesn't know exactly what the ball is, he kind of has that general idea. Next pitch is going to be called strike, a little painting kind of that right-sided line.
Yeah, painting that outside corner, making it a very hard to get to pitch. Did I just see flashes, or was that me imagining things?
I don't know. I kind of thought the same thing, but
1-1-1 runner looked like they were gonna go. Oh, and half a swing, going to appeal the first, will be deemed to be a ball.
Yeah, I think everyone was looking at the first base umpire, and then the first base umpire was looking at it.
For the Dogs, standing on first is Kawanishi. Anishi dancing around, but McCrary will deliver the strike. So 2-2 the count to Riley Kwok. Two and two the count. The man who wears number 3 on the back of his jersey. Runner goes. Kwok will put it into play. Sanchez will pull it down, and he'll go to second, and now we're in a pickle. Sanchez will apply the tag, and Kvak is furious. Or that's Kawanishi. He's saying he was impeded with. Oh, and wow. Interesting there, as Kvak did not advance to second despite that bag being completely open with the chaos from the rundown.
What a weird turn of events. I thought, I don't know what I want to say he's necessarily impeded with, but I thought he kind of got to the bag, but obviously you don't want to get kicked out of the game, especially with it being this close.
An aerial tag by Ricardo Sanchez. So I guess we'll kind of call that a fielder's choice and or a single and a rundown. I guess we'll have to be how we'll have to score that one. That'll hand off to Daniel Simmons. They'll check up on Quack at first.
Again, that just communication between the Dawgs players just to get that rundown just shows you how good this team can be, especially with how good their communication is.
Runner will go, pitch well outside. The Dawgs will say, this is early in the count, I'll just eat that one. 1-0 the count. Especially to Daniel Simmons, he's 0 for but was caught by Cote Griffin at second. Griffin and Cote do look fairly similar, especially when they both wear those black sleeves in these cold weather games.
Oh, 100%.
We're going to have a bit of a communication issue at the mound, and that will actually bring forth the Dawgs pitching coach, Andy Pedersen. And Andy will call the whole infield in here. And hey, that'll just also allow that infield after that crazy rundown to just kind of communicate with themselves. Because that was Connor Croson, the third baseman, making the throw to Ricardo Sanchez, the shortstop, for that tag out. I would not want to be our friends working the tablet. Oh. Is it Alex on the tablet today?
I think it is Alex on the tablet. We got Naomi on the paper.
It as.
Yeah, no, but again, like we've been talking kind of throughout the last couple innings, just that communication is exactly what you need in a successful ball team. Just having Sanchez be able to just have the mindset of when to cover, and Croson just automatically trusting that Sanchez will cover his position and when he runs out.
And speaking of communication, Riley Quack was just having the communication with Schlenker, the third base umpire there, probably trying to figure out what the call that led to the out was. Inside, but a big hack over the top of that one for Simmons. 1-1 the count.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to get much trying to plead his case there.
Well, I think you just want to know what the call was and why it wasn't deemed potentially runner or interference on the runner.
Yeah.
And of course, Kvak is not going to give much jumping around, especially with a lefty on the mound. That one fouled off, and we'll go to cleanup hitter in Daniel Simmons. So you have to think there's some power in that bat being put into this 4-hole opportunity that has not had the stuff in the swing today. Of course, that could be the commentator's curse, and this one could be flying out of the stadium here real quickly. 1-2 the count to Simmons. Simmons will chop that one up the middle. The lefty will gather, fires to Kroll at first. He'll hold the foot down just long enough, and Simmons will be retired. The Dawgs put up the goose egg, and Energy City will now come to the field. The Dawgs will head to the plate when we return on FloCollege.
Importantly, it's time to take us out to the ball game. And to lead us through, we've got Promo Crew's very own Paige to sing Take Me Out to the Ball Game.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowds. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever go back, so let's root for the Dawgs team. If they don't win, it's a shame. Or it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.
Thank you, Paige, and thank you, Siemens Stadium. 7th inning stretch proudly brought to you by Maccabi College.
Your future? At Maccabi College, we believe in the power of education. With flexible programs and hands-on training, your success story starts here. Maccabi College. No limits, boundless possibilities. Visit us online today.
And a man that is used to leading off for the Dogs will be Ricky Sanchez to start this inning. The Dogs, they are tied 4-4 in the runs department. They're up 6-8 on the hit count, but also lead in the error tally. And this is the loudest we might have heard the Dogs faithful get today. Again, we're in the home half of the 7th, just after the stretch. Dogs and Cactus Rats tied, and Ricky is yet to see a competitive pitch that in this at-bat. He's ahead 2-0. And hey, if you're Ricky, you're just happy to get on base. If it's by the free 90 feet, I don't think you really complain. Look to be that 12-6 change or a curveball. Just doesn't drop all the way in, and you see a couple of Cactus Rats up and starting their plyometrics to try and get warm. But the 3-0 count to Ricky Sanchez, again, has spent most of his career as a leadoff man, and oh, Ricky disagrees with that one. He says it's above my foot. And I think Ricky's got a case. Take a step out, get re-centered for young Mr. Sanchez. And that's I can understand why the Dogs fans are getting upset, as that one is clock to first.
Yeah, that was a bit of, sorry about that. That was a bit of an odd backwards call. You get a ball when it should have been a strike, and you get a strike when it should have been a ball.
And
so
this is going to be a mound visit occurring here. I don't know if this will be the end of the night for Aiden. Of course, the Energy City Cactus Rats have allowed both of their pitchers to go into some later innings.
Yeah,
so it's just going to be that conversation. Just know your stuff's good, and also get as much time for the guy that's warming. Because, as I said, when you walked in here, Merrick, after getting your beverage, he was just doing some plyometrics out there, just
really?
barely starting to stretch. So getting that a little bit of additional time is.
Well, like you just said with the pitchers, like we, as the Dogs have used 4, and the Energy City Cactus Rats have only used 2 thus far in the game. Just shows you just. Not even that it's a trust thing, but they think that their pitchers can pitch a little bit more, and while it's worked for them thus far, we can the end result of the game will give us that final answer.
So no, it wasn't Turner nor Ricky. They eventually got it right on the scoreboard. It is Cal Gates stepping into the batter's box, and Gates, he's been hot. He's had a steal today, but hasn't made it to the bases on a hit. Walked in his last time up, and Ricky Sanchez will get some red shale on the front of that white uniform as he slides back into first.
I think this has been
that one well outside to Gates.
Well, if any game you get a home run in, it's for individually, I think it's a pretty solid game. It was also a little bit of rain when I stepped out.
Yeah, it's been sprinkling on and off throughout the evening. When I was out retrieving my beverage, it was that as well, and that one just over top of the Dogs logo. We'll go 2-0 to Cal Gates.
Yeah, that constant wind not only affecting the game, but the weather just kind of not shaky necessarily, but kind of keeping you on edge when it terms of the rain.
That one outside, and hasn't been a ton of strikes in the strike zone here from Aiden. Of course, Aiden Beck still in the game, as I said. Only 2 pitchers used thus far, and that'll be 2 a night.
Maybe not, because this is definitely not the these next 2 batters for the Dogs are not the 2 you want to be facing in a scenario like this.
Well, they might allow him to face the right-handed Croson then send him in for the lefty in Kroll. Because it does look like it is a lefty warming up for Energy City.
I'm just gonna put it out there. I love Connor Croson's song.
I liked his one from last year a little bit.
I can't remember
more.
what it was for last year.
I can't remember the name, but I remember it was a little bit more fan engagement. Pickoff attempt. Ooh. The shortstop was very slow to get over. Cervantes hadn't reached down.
I think Beck kind of realized that and kind of threw a little lob just to make sure he wouldn't allow either Ricky or Gates there on first to have any movement.
So more pitches thrown to second than to home in this at-bat. Beck will finally find one right down the middle. Connor, in most instances, would probably have turned on that one, but not today, and a tough day at the plate. Walked and eventually was driven in, but has 2 straight strikeouts on his resume for today. Good eye there, as that one's well outside as the wind begins whipping once again. As you can tell, the berm pretty well empty thus far. And hey, it's a Tuesday. There's other things going on in the week, not necessarily going to extend the bedtime for a windy weather day.
Yeah, definitely getting close to summer, though, where could be more people out, especially during these weekdays game. Whoa.
Connor Croson almost pulling out the 9-iron on that one, as we'll go to 1 and 2. Connor Croson, I've heard also quite the excellent
golf and playing baseball.
I don't want to talk about my golf game. I haven't been able to get out on the links yet this summer.
Yeah, I haven't either, but that's probably for the best.
That one will bounce away. Croson will step aside, but Sanchez and Gates will advance. Takes away the potential for the double play as that pitch went about 58 feet. Oh, going to give the pitcher a little bit of extra time. The backstop, Liam Kirsch, going to go do some lawn maintenance. I know, hey, if he needs another job during the summer, lots of lawn maintenance companies hiring right now.
Oh, exactly. It's the prime of the best possible time to do it.
Hey, and if you know somebody in the Calgary area who wants to come and trim and harvest some raspberry bushes, I need someone to do that. 2 and 2, and the most unconvincing Connor Croson swing I think I made. Power hitter to power hitter, and it is the lefty coming forth, and that will be the sign made to the dugout. So we'll get a little bit of extra funky town when we come back. We're going to take a step aside and return a little bit later here on FloCollege. Now on the mound for Energy City is Justin Duello. He's coming to play once so far this season, has only gone 1 inning pitched through 19 pitches, but he struck out allowed a hit, but then struck out the other 3 batters. So
make it that as you do.
Make it that as you will, and maybe make of the 2 of the warm-up pitches he's thrown have gotten through Liam Kirsch, including that one that nearly killed one of the Dawgs ball kids.
Whoa!
It's
a good thing they have helmets.
Well, they don't have the full face that we've seen some of the younger ball kids get, the full jaw protector. And as I said, a little bit of extra time for Funky Town. Nash Kroll stepping into the batter's box. As we know, Kroll, 3 home runs, 9 RBI last night. I mean, I don't think we'll get tired of saying that for a while.
No.
And hey, he's batting almost 400 on the year too. Like, not just hitting for power, very hard out. And hey, he's been on base a lot. He's walked already so far today. That one's in on Kroll, and Ricardo Sanchez will make the scamper home. Aggressive base running, and the Dawgs, they go together like peanut butter and jelly. Sometimes it gets them into a bit of trouble, but there it gets them into a run.
And Ricky Sanchez just adding to what a game it has been for him offensively. Not only on the bases and the home run, but what a heads-up play just to turn on the burners and go.
Yeah, we saw it 2 years ago to get the not too happy with that call. But hey, it's a game that has live umpires for a reason. The robo-umps, they may be on their way depending on who you ask. 1-1-1 to number 44. That one will be a hot shot to short. Well handled by Cervantes, and Kroll will be put away. That's why you have the shortstop in. Of course, I don't think Kroll was ever bunting there, but that's why you have the infielders in.
Yeah, exactly. That was just a good heads-up play there by the shortstop, Micah Cervantes, just to be almost just in the right spot at the right time.
Yeah, Cervantes has had a couple of good defensive plays so far in the ball game. This will head off to the catcher, Lusk, and ooh, that one nearly to the backstop via the curve. Generally, it's a fastball that just splits the wickets that gets to the backstop. Oh, and Lusk having to jump out of the way. The control maybe a little bit out of control for Duello.
Yeah, like you said earlier, those warm-up pitches, not all of them were fluid.
That one well outside. 3 pitches to Lusk, 3 balls. And if you're Lusk, you have the green light on the 3-0 pitch. I know it was Fernando Tatis a few years ago that got in trouble for swinging at the 3-0. And the bat not leaving the shoulder, Lusk will take the free base.
Yeah, I think if it was right down the middle, I think he would have elected to swing, but I think he saw that was nowhere near the strike zone.
That'll hand down the chain to Turner Zadunik as the Dawgs look to try and continue this 2-out rally and try to not strand as many on base. That was the story of their Turner. 2 to Turner. I did look it up. The 4 Zadunik siblings, of course, it's Turner, Tucker, Tyler, and Tanner. As the Dawgs are caught in a bit of a rundown here. Oh, and Gates will get tagged out. That'll mean it'll be a reset and a fresh set of balls and strikes, but the base running from Ricky Sanchez. They take the 5-4 lead when we come back for the top of the 8th here on FloCollege.
How great of a night did it turn out? Wow. It's 50-50 time. Get the 50-50 tickets out. $1,695. $1,695 going to a C. D as in dog. D 3545. D 3545. If that is your ticket, congratulations, you've won $1,695. Thank you for supporting local baseball.
We return to Okotoks, where the Dogs have taken a 5-4 advantage. I will see Max McCrary on the bump for the Dogs. He only, he faced one more than the minimum and was pretty good. Had a strikeout and then allowed for his fielders to bounces that one in, and it nearly hits the bottom of the backstop and Englished its way back into the now emptying stands. As it's a bit of a tough sell to be here on a Tuesday.
Yeah, especially kids got school still. You're still in the last month of school, to be fair. But
probably the last week out here in Foothills County.
Yeah, that too. It's but once July rolls around, usually doesn't matter if it's a weekday or weekend. You'll see the more fans that are able to make it due to kind of getting more time off, especially during the summer break.
So the lefty McCreary will get the sign, trying to maintain this Dogs lead. His first offering outside, 0-1 or 1-0. He's against the catcher Liam Kirsch. Dealing again to Kirsch. That one's in the strike zone. Kirsch a little bit ahead of that one. It'll fly off into the Arcandia Outdoor Training Center. Of course, Brody Forno acting as the pitching coach out there, from what I was told, and keeps his guys out of the way. That's the good thing about having a fifth-year returner. And that one will be smoked to third, fielded by Croson. The most familiar throw is airmailed. Oh boy.
You don't see that every day, especially from a player such as Croson.
I know Croson's been struggling today at the bat, but he'll get charged with the E5, and advancing on that E5 will be Kirsch.
Little unfortunate there, but a little bit unfortunate there for Croson, who looked to make the routine play, but hey, doesn't
So it will be Kirsch removed from the game.
Brings in Matt Verlack, I believe, as the pinch base runner, as you said.
So yeah, Verlack will stand at first. He's walked, struck out, and advanced on an error. And he'll spank that one. Turning and trying to get to that one is Gates. Gates will reach up and make the play. Had to fully extend and fires a howitzer into the infield. Hang a star on that one, folks.
He just salutes the crowd, hat off. What a play there by Cal Gates, not only to make the grab, Matt there on first. What a play.
So Matt Verlack will get his way back to first. And a little bit of hurts so good over the state speakers at Siemens Stadium. And you're happy with that one, but that will hand off to Carson Burnett. Burnett has singled and scored. He was one of the runs that scored on that 3-run moonshot. Pickoff to first will not get Verlack. Other plays for Burnett tonight as he struck out looking and hit into the 4-3 ground out. Hank Griffin's been active today on the infield. A lot of 4-3 putouts. A lot more spraying to that right-hand side. Pickoff will go to first. Kroll will throw to second. They tried the jump slide, but Verlack will be cut down.
Each other for not only for the pickoff attempt, just to realize that the runner's going to move, but Nash just immediately to whip it to second for the second out of the inning.
1-3-6 the put out there.
Poor Alex.
Well, he's got it.
Yeah, I guess it's not the rundown play like it was earlier on.
That one, ooh, I thought it caught the inside. I am incorrect. There's a reason I'm about 90 feet away from home plate, not wearing the long sleeves of Brad Johnson. Of course, a veteran officiating crew here, and well, two veterans and Chris Schlenker, who I think this is his second year in the WCBL. I'll have to go ask him after the game.
Well, it does help when you, worked with like other athletes in another major league sport.
And hey, he did round 1 of the playoffs, so
literally the
very little time off.
Oh, 100%, especially with the playoffs.
That one will be put up the elevator shaft. Griffin breaking on it late. He'll call off the infield and go airborne. Maybe just lost his cleats. But hey, the Dawgs only faced the minimum. Griffin pulls that one out of the hat, and the Dawgs will keep it at 0. We'll be back for the home half of the 8th when we return here on FloCollege.
Fans, it's time for a sing-along. Sing it loud, sing it proud. It's time for Sweet Caroline.
Where it began, I can't begin to know, but then I know it's growing strong. Wasn't the spring, and spring became the summer. Would have believed you'd come along. Touching hands, reaching out.
Have you ever wondered if there's one thing that connects people from across our province? Something that connects the coffee shop to the spray park, or the brewery to the rodeo, the campground to the sports field. It's pretty amazing when you think about how it's all connected.
Sorry to cut off Sweet Caroline there, but we do have to mention a defensive substitution. It'll be Angel Cartagena handling the catching now, number 23 in for Liam Kirsch, who was pinch run for. And hey, we saw this guy at the plate when the inning ended last time for the Dawgs, so it'll be Turner Zadunik leading off, as I said. The fourth of the Zadunik brothers, Tucker, Tyler, and Tanner, his 3 brothers, all baseball players out of High River.
I'm noticing a theme with the first names.
We have a couple of that. It's the Zaduniks and then the Dick family as well. They have a trio of brothers that Carson, Carlin, and I can't remember the third one, but it was another C name. Connor, of course. Or no, and it's Cardell, who is the one that's playing now.
Oh, right. He was on. He was here a couple nights ago.
Yeah, I believe he's with Lethbridge. Tucker gets a lot of that ball. Will it fly with the assistance of the wind out of the ballpark? It'll go! A solo shot for Turner. He was trying to send it back to High River. And the Dawgs now lead 6-4. You have to think that was a little wind assisted.
What? Yeah, nonetheless, what a hit from Zadunik, who, like we've said earlier, has been electric thus far for the Dawgs. That is the third home run of the game, second home run for the Dawgs. And it looks like there is a mound meeting.
And it looks like it will be a new arm, but yes, it will. Only gets to face the leadoff man, and I don't know who's coming in to replace him. Oh, it'll be the man who, oh, he did the same thing. I think he went over the line. Man, it makes a big mistake.
Looks to be number 36, Eduardo Gomez.
Eduardo Gomez coming in, and I will pull up his stats here for you shortly. Reminder, if you want to get your stats live, go to ballclubswithaz.com/WCBL. Eduardo Gomez has had a bit of a rough ride. He came out against Fort Mac on the 29th, was real good in that appearance. Went a full inning, had walked a man, didn't get any strikeouts, but hey, got through the inning without any runs, earned or otherwise, on 16 pitches, but came in against Sylvan Lake on the third, only went 0.2 of an innings, 2 runs, 2 hits. .36 pitches. He's got that, I don't want to quite call it a baby blue, maybe an electric blue glove for Energy City. Hey, maybe it works.
Yeah, definitely with the color scheme that the Energy City jerseys have, the blue glove definitely stands out.
Their home jersey is more of a navy blue, and I know they do have the alternate, which is that lighter blue with the lightning bolts that run up and down it. So maybe it more fits with that third jersey.
Maybe, yeah.
But that'll hand off to Hank Griffin, and how will Hank answer the ball that just kept going off the bat of Turner Zadunik? High and tight. A little bit of a back-off pitch there to Hank Griffin. Old school baseball, trying to back the... Hot shot over the Dawgs dugout.
Yeah, usually back in the day, if someone was crowding the plate, the only way to get them off is throw it near them. And I think that was a full display there.
1-1 the count to Hank Griffin. He has an old school baseball name and an old school baseball coach now over at first base. Nash Kroll going and handling the first base duties there for a moment.
Looked like Nash was ready to go back to first base. Just to getting ready to play.
He had his glove on. It's just like, hey, I know we're 3 outs away, but I'm prepared. 2-2, and Griffin will bend the knees and say, I don't agree, but
no change.
He doesn't. Yeah. It's not Mark Giordano arguing his way out of a hooking call. I will never forget that. It's the only time I've ever seen it in sports. Griffin gets a hold of that baseball. Do they go back to back? They do! A pair of solo shots, and they Hank Griffin goes yard after Turner Zadunik opened the floodgates.
Wow, I'm feeling like I'm seeing some deja vu. If you hit that ball high enough into that left field, the likely chance the wind carries it all the way for you.
Yeah, it's almost like when you're playing banana ball in those football stadiums where it's maybe 200 feet to left field.
Yep.
But that'll hand off to Landon Kaufman.
So I guess the age-old question we asked ourselves at the beginning of the game is, did they leave all their home runs in Brooks? I think we can safely say no, they didn't.
Oh, and Kaufman tried to take a chunk out of that one. He's out ahead of the off-speed. He'll take a bit of a wander around the home plate. Again, he's one of the batters that does have that hand protection on, that red plate of hardened plastic. That one. That one was out of the strike zone, 1-1.
Baseball is where your height really matters sometimes, especially as a batter.
And a swing over that one. That one looked like it started looking like a fastball and then just fell off the table. 1-2. And hey, McAmey, you might want to get your ad off that ribbon board. The Dogs have been crushing them in that direction. I wonder, is that how they charge? If it hits the ribbon board and they have to replace it, is it whoever's ad was on the board? Oh, and that one will plunk Kaufman on the lead shoulder.
That is a good question.
And of course, the ribbon board only 2 seasons old here in Okotoks. One of the newer additions, of course, not the newest. The newest being our farthest section along the third base line. And the newest man to the dish will be Aiden Kraus.
I think it's safe to say Siemens Stadium is definitely a top 2. There you go.
I think it's, I can't remember the name of the publication that's voted at that, but it's been the top stadium in summer ball. And I think having a top tier team adds to that. And speaking of top tier, nearly hitting Aiden Kraus in the top tier, and the Dawgs faithful starting to get after the pitcher. That went in for a strike. As we just noticed that we had an extra out on the scoreboard. The Dawgs have yet to record, or have yet to be recorded out, and that one, oh, that one might get the Boo Birds as well. 1 and 2 to Kraus.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that one, I think.
Kraus has grounded out twice, struck out looking, but he had that big powerful double. No back pick, 2 and 2 the count to Kraus.
Feels like the Dawgs are more loose, especially with kind of the gap they've put into their lead, excuse me.
Yeah, and it was a back and forth affair, of course, obviously, until these last 2 innings where the Dawgs have put up 1 and 2 runs respectively. Ooh, trying to steal the strike there was the new catcher into the ball game, but will go to a full count to Kraus.
Yeah, Energy City at one point was leading this game, and the Dawgs just showed their resiliency once again and stormed to a 7-4 lead right now. And in the hits is probably the biggest message.
Kaufman goes. The strike him out is successful. The throw him out, not so much. So the Dawgs will put an out on the scoreboard, but they'll also put a steal on for Landon Kaufman. So let's go to Ricky Sanchez. He's been all right tonight. He's had a home run.
This is the game that I think brings the confidence back. This is the type of game that you like to see from one of the crowd's favorite Dawgs players as well.
Yeah, for him to come into the day batting below 300 is an absolute anomaly. That one down in the dirt. 1-0 the count.
Seems like
if there's anyone's I'm not saying is going to lack confidence, I think it's number 8 in white. Always smiling, always laughing around the ballpark.
Yeah, you never can tell with him.
Ooh, catches the outside corner.
The wind is, I was just going to say, the wind has kind of died down, so I don't know if we're going to get any of those home run where the wind will help carry that ball.
Eduardo Gomez trying to battle around here. Doesn't get the call there. 2-1 the count here. And they do have an arm warming or beginning to for Energy City. But the 2-1 count to Ricky Sanchez. Runner will go, pitch down into the dirt, blocked well, but not able to pick it. So another steal for Landon Kaufman. That'll add to your statistics.
Yeah, no, like we said, throughout the game, the base running has been phenomenal for the Dawgs. Obviously, just that one little hiccup the inning ago that kind of got them out, but the base running, especially from Ricky to help get that go-ahead run, seemed to just start it all, as Ricky is going to take a big swing, and the count is now full. Dawgs have definitely added to their lead here, putting in 3 runs over the last 2 innings to extend their lead.
So you said the fly back past Cardana and out of the ballpark. And hey, a pitch from the that's the one thing I think we need to change here in Siemens Stadium, is get the away team off the field, because we have too many stoppages where it's a ball getting away from the pitcher that's warming up.
Yeah, it's a bit, because obviously if you hit it that way and it rolls into that corner, you have no idea if they've touched it or not, and they're obviously just a bit of a mess sometimes.
Ricky, as I said, just trying to get that one into the grass, winding and turning, and the throw will come in. Will the play be in time? He will not. The tag is applied, but it is late. An RBI sac fly for Ricardo Sanchez, and the Dogs put a third up here in the home half of the 8th inning, doubling up the Cactus Rats 8-4. Just forced Kawanishi to get out, but could not take down the runner.
Oh.
And that one
very inside. I think he was able to avoid it, but hey, this game has been incredible for Ricky too. Like, even if he gets out, he RBI, bring someone home.
And he scored twice himself, so we'll count that on the record for Okotoks fan favorite. I was going to call him the favorite son, but hey, he was raised here, just not quite born here.
No, I know what you mean.
Inside, can't steal that strike. Can Angel Cartagena.
Yeah, he's definitely been a little unlucky when it comes to framing. I think it's his 4th time he's tried to frame that strike.
The 3 Little Dogs fans still out on the berm running to track that ball down. 2-1 the count to Gates. And Gates will just find some grass in the outfield, and he's got speed to burn. Will he test the arm? He will. Ball to second. In time, Cal Gates puts on the afterburners, and he'll slide into second safely.
I feel like we can't even say anything anymore. What a run by Cal Gates. Not even just the awareness to run, but the speed displayed just for him to get to second.
That's ball's not hit very deep. That was just pure speed getting him into second. And that'll bring Connor Croson out, and there's up high. Again, Connor had the error charged in the field and has had a bit of a rougher day than he'd like at the plate, throwing on that sombrero. The 3 strikeouts today. Takes up high, he's suddenly ahead 2-0. And again, the Energy City has told their pitcher that's warming, get going real quick. Not the best appearance here for Gomez.
No, he's definitely going to want a couple of those pitches back, and the lead just keeps getting deeper and deeper for the Dogs.
Croson got everything he wanted, just not on time on that pitch. 2-1 for the Tennessee Tech University product. As he said, I've retired the purple gloves. I've gone with the white ones.
Hey, like you said.
And maybe he needs to go back to the purple. As I said, not a great day at the plate. He just will it drop? It will. It will. And they're going to make the play at the plate. Throw not in time. Croson, the RBI single. That one just died in the outfield. Sometimes you got to be lucky to be good. And Connor Croson will get the RBI on that single. Good hard running there by Cal Gates.
Yeah, wow. Great base running. That was a very strange kind of heads-up play. I don't think.
And once again, we'll get a double dose of Funky Town as Energy City gonna make a pitching change ahead of Nash Kroll. We'll be back on the other side of this pitching change here on FloCollege. So as things have gone on, this game's slowed down a little bit, but that's just because the Dogs have been handing the chain over, allowing the teammate to get it done. But now on the mound, it'll be 16, Derek Appa for the Energy City Cactus Rats. His third appearance of the year, and last time he was used was on the 5th when they took on the Sylvan Lake Gulls. 1 strikeout, 1 hit, 1 run, and that's 1 earned. Also, yeah, and we just keep getting double doses today. The second time the Cactus Rats have swapped in front of Nash Kroll, and as you said, if I had a nickel for every time they changed pitchers in front of Nash Kroll, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's strange that it happened twice. Of course, the quote Dan Povenmire.
Hey, they're making a new Phineas and Ferb show. It's supposed to come out pretty soon.
Yeah, I'm so happy to see more of Dan Povenmire. Oh, and that one. Ooh. Oh, gonna be called a strike. Boy, the 12-6 must have had a little bit movement more to the 5 o'clock side of the clock dial.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that one. I feel like if Kroll has to shift his shoulder out the way, the thing could be out of the imaginary square as we talked about earlier during our interview.
0-2. Go all over again. His buddy Connor Croson making the dash to second base. The co-host of 3 Guys on a Tarp, the Instagram sensation.
My favorite series.
That's my favorite web series too. I just haven't been invited on the tarp yet. Hey, come on, I'm part of the team too, right? 0-2, and Kroll will just golf that one out into left field. And hey, as we said, just hand the order over as we hit our 9th batter to come up and face Cactus Rats pitching. And it is the catcher. He'll have to get those light guards off, and Jaden Lusk will stride his way into the plate. He'll have his NASCAR pit crew ready to get those back on after the inning. Lusk will set up his timing in the dirt, and it's kind of interesting. They like to go to a righty when the next 2 batters coming up, both lefties, so it's the advantage batter theoretically.
Exactly, yeah.
Lusk batting .286 coming into tonight. So he'll take a call on the outside corner. It's a pair of singles and a steal to add to his 6-4-3 double play he hit into, and a walk. He was on bases when when Cal Gates was chopped down in the base running incident.
We've had a lot of those today.
Yeah, a couple pickles. And that bender will bend its way back over the plate. Lusk down 0-2, but hey, we've had a couple of good at-bats from guys in this 0-2 count so far today. Can the Dogs continue their 2-out rally? They've had 4 across the plate here, and Lusk, does he hold up? Schlenker, and Schlenker obviously, that's the only unfortunate part about only having 3 umpires. Schlenker is up the middle, so didn't maybe have the best view as he would. He was truly down that third base line, but he is the umpire to make the appeal to.
He just looks like an NHL referee.
Linesman.
Sorry, linesman.
1-2, and that one will be up in our general direction. Did that one end up in the owner's box right to our left? It did not, but we'll go to the 1-2 all over again.
Hey, if I ever want a guy to help break up a fight, especially in this baseball game, that's my guy.
Yeah, and it hasn't been super fiery and not a lot of fired up arms on the mound either. That'll be inside, and that'll load the bases full of Dogs. And that wasn't the off-speed. That one, Will Smart. But we will go to a second at-bat on the inning.
And up to
the inning. Remember what he did? It was over the left field fence. So could Turner turn this into a solo shot and a potential grand slam in the same inning? Not on that pitch. It's well outside.
Yeah, the Dogs have definitely done what they needed to in this inning specifically, especially with Energy City only having 1 more at bat.
Yeah, the lead-off solo shots for Zadunik and Griffin. And then just some good small ball, and Zadunik won't hit it over the fence, but he'll have extra bases. 1 run is in, 2 runs are in, and hustling to home, the throw will not come. A stand-up bases clearing double for the youngest of the Zaduniks. Turner turns on that baseball, and boy, oh boy, the Dawgs have busted this one open.
The streak for Zadunik just keeps on going, and I think the Dawgs are starting to run away with it now. As you just said, it is now 12-4.
And God, what an inning for Turner Zadunik. A home run and then a bases clearing double.
Zadunik is responsible for 4 out of the 7 runs in this inning alone.
So the equivalent of a grand slam, but 2 separate swings. We'll head down to Hank Griffin. Hey, he did the same thing, and the flags are wobbling and waving, and I think they might try and warm up another pitcher for Energy City. I see a little bit more action. Griffin sees the off speed. He'll not agree with the strike as you can the bat down at his side, looking a little dejected there, like a sad. The count now. As I didn't plug in my computer this game, and I'm just hoping that we can get to the end of it before it dies. 1-2 the count. The charge icon on the screen trying to get Griffin to chase. He does not. 2-2 with 2 away. And the second at bat of the inning.
Yeah, I think if you're in the same inning and you're at bat twice, I think that shows just how successful the inning has been, not only for you but for your team.
Ooh, 50-50 call goes in the way of Griffin. The count has come full. And I think we might have hit the part in the game where the Cactus Rats are just saying, yeah, we're not going to waste any more arms. I think we just got to wear it here.
Yeah, and they...
Oh, Griffin got a lot of that baseball. He's hoping it'll find the grass. It will not. But the Dawgs finally retired. A pair of home runs for Zadunik and Griffin, and a bases clearing double as well. The Dawgs put up a 7 spot. They look to end it after the top of the 9th. And is that number 34 striding to... No, it is not. It is not going to be Loera. We'll be back on the other side of this break on FloCollegiate.
Pitching for your dog from the University of Portland, number 32, Grady Keljo.
So Grady Keljo, the man on the mound for the Dawgs, not coming in for the save, but coming to get the last out.
Yeah, he's looking to help put this.
The bottom half of the order, the 8, 9, and then back to the top. Umezawa, Cervantes, and Fermin.
Hard to believe the Dawgs have scored 37 runs in the last 2 games.
Yeah, that happens in baseball. Keljo, 3 innings pitched, 0 ERA, 3 Ks, starts it off outside. working quickly. And boy, there's a zip to those pitches.
Next is a pitch called strike. Great framing there.
Yeah, Keljo, absolute fire. A 95-mile-per-hour four-seam, the splitter at 88, and the slide piece in the high 70s. Nasty.
Seems to be some sort of miscommunication between Keljo doesn't seem like too much of a problem.
Yeah, just maybe not seeing the signals quite as good. Maybe he needs to paint his nails like I do. That's a thing, right? Like it was Cal Raleigh who talked about him painting his nails, even though they have the pitch calm, just in case the worst comes to worst. Yeah, just high on the pitch there from Keljo.
Yeah, you never know, especially with the pitch comms, if they pop out, if technology just does technology things.
That one in at the knees, 2-2, and the bat hasn't come off the shoulder for Umezawa. Keljo working quickly, fouled off by Umezawa. For all my Magic the Gathering fans at home, he's swinging around that bat like a Jite. You have no idea what I'm referencing.
Nope, but I know Magic the Gathering roughly.
2-2 the count to Keljo. Looking to sit down the leadoff man for Energy City. He'll work the count full. Yeah, Keljo not wasting much time up there on the mound. Again, one of those University of Portland products. The Portland Dawgs. Zawa just gets a piece of that one.
Yeah, Keljo's got that internal pitching clock. He's just ripping them back and forth.
And hey, when the game gets out of reach, sometimes the loudest cheer isn't for the boys on the field. It's for the bat boys going to retrieve that baseball.
And low, and Umezawa is going to walk to first.
The fan's not a fan of that walk, but it'll hand off. And is it still Michael Cervantes? It is. He'll wander in. Our Evo shield on his ankle. You have to think that might be collegiate level. Keljo just inside, and the Boo-Birds don't like that call.
Kind of looked like the umpire stumble there. I thought he was going to go strike, and then nope.
Maybe he was halfway thinking it could have been a strike and then said, yeah, I'll think about that a little longer and call it a ball. That one will be lined out to right field. Whoa, what a cannon. Cal Gates.
What a game.
Get out of the way, Hank Griffin.
Cal Gates, not only just a threat on the offensive side, what an arm he's got over there on right.
The Dawgs, all their arms in the dugout. It'll be on Keljo to get out of this as no outs and a pair of Cactus Rats on the bases. Getting a little prickly here for Keljo.
Sort of puns you could have done there. That's not the worst one I've ever heard.
Gee, it's an early season. You haven't and you haven't been in here for most of the games.
We haven't been into the bottom of the barrel yet.
Another swing, another miss. Swinging out of his gloves there, and oh, sounds like he got a piece. So shaking some feeling back in to that bottom hand there for Fermin. Got a piece, and ooh, boy. That hit where the sun does not shine on Lusk.
Youch. That's one of the big dangers of being a catcher. It's the goaltending position of baseball, and that is going to hurt now, in an hour, and in the morning. As he gets a nice round of applause here from the fans at Siemens Stadium, but whoa.
He made the motion that was close. To jump up and down on your heels.
Yeah, but every time that usually happens to me, that's not my first thought. My first thought is, wow, that's not going to.
Yep.
That's going to hurt for the next 5 minutes.
Lusk back behind the plate. Battling off. That one was Fermin. Keljo against Fermin. Gets the called strike. Third strikeout of the night for Fermin after he started with a pair of singles. The Dawgs get the first out of the top of the ninth. And it'll be Kawanishi stepping into the box. Kwok in behind him in the batter's box. For the Dawgs looking for a twin killing to get out of this one. Half a home plate. The Dawgs fans that are still in attendance getting loud for their man operating in the ninth. I was going to say the closer, but not a closed situation. Swing and a miss. Keljo pulling the string. Ahead 0-2 once again.
For your daily weather report, it looks like we have escaped any sort of rain today. And
we got the little bit of the drizzle, but Keljo looking to make it rain here. Gets the call on the outside half. He struck out the two after he gets the runners on.
You're saying he was trying to make it rain. I think he is making it rain. He's making quick work out of the last two batters. And
hey, this is the top of the order. In theory, that should be the hardest part of the order. And I'm looking over to the dugout, and Diggs up on top of the Cactus Rats dugout. Savage. But the first pitch from Keljo was up and away, 1-0. Keljo trying to find that inside bottom corner, couldn't do it. 2-0 now to Kvak. Kvak has singled in his last two at-bats after hitting into a double play and striking out in his first two ABs. Fouls that one off, and Keljo battling his way back. 2-1 the count.
I will say, not parking in the stadium, the amount of stress that is just not there anymore when the foul balls go behind us.
Did you park over at the dog park?
Yep. And ever since Alex got hit.
Speaking of hit, that one, Keljo will see that one fly into center field. One run will score for Energy City. But hey, that's bringing them within.
Yeah, I did. I was the last group in my class to take statistics.
It was those other two that are over on.
I failed, and I got a C-, but they rounded my grade up because they were removing the program, and therefore has allowed me to graduate. So, hey,
we're in a program that required a C to get a degree. And that will hand off to Daniel Simmons, who's had a rough night. 0 for 4 with a pair of strikeouts to his record. I have to think this might have been a spot where they would have considered pinch hitting if it was a little bit closer. Ooh, the Dawgs fans in attendance thought it was a strike. Jaden Lusk thought it was a strike. The man that matters, Brad Johnson, did not.
I even thought it was a strike. Just wanted to put that out there.
Of course, Conrad Wood and Merrick Robinson here with you, and the swing does go, or the pitch was in. The Cactus Rats down to their final strike. 1-2. Keljo steps off. Gets a sign he likes. Lusk sets up middle. Oh, and that's going to be a well-hit baseball. Cal Gates can't quite make the play. Oh, and the first hit of the ball game. Again, it's that commentator's curse. A single will plate another Cactus Rats runner. And this will be the first at-bat of the evening for Angel Cartagena. So Angel versus Keljo. Missing a run.
12-6, not 12-5. I always look at the scoreboard, and that's usually my job, so I'm afraid. I look down, I'm like, this is not where I'm normally at. So
that one well outside. 2-0 the count. Keljo, as I said, going to be relied upon to do it himself. He's got a bit of a score to back him up. That one will be fouled off towards the field house. Sponsored by Duvernay, the Duvernay Field House. Of course, the Arcandia outdoor training area as well. That one will be golfed into right field. And oh boy, Keljo, the wheels falling off slightly. Gates will get a hold of that base line, but a 2-run double there for Cartagena. That'll hand off, and there will be a mound visit here, as where the Dawgs came into this inning with a sizable lead. It's been eaten into, of course. Finally, they've got the right score up on the scoreboard where it's 8-12, and Keljo probably just saying, I've gotten ahead in counts. I've done everything but get them out. And that will bring up the DH, Hikaru Akita. Akita is only reached base by a walk and the E1. Just below the knees. It almost feels like that strike zone shrunk a fair bit here for Keljo.
Yeah, Keljo's getting a little unlucky here.
That one not necessarily near the plate, and there is an arm warming for the Dawgs. Keljo has said, they've probably said to Keljo, we'll give you one more to try and work through it. And he'll get the swing and a miss there.
Yeah, you have to imagine that, like, this would be the last at-bat for him if needed, but we'll have to see.
Keljo just trying to paint a little too fine on the bottom of the strike zone. 3-1. The count to Akita. Akita helps him out, will foul it out. And once again, Energy City down to their final strike. The fans trying to clap in a final strike. 3-2 with 2 away. And he'll plunk Akita.
This is not the way you wanted this inning to go, especially after us coming off of 7-run bottom of the 8th inning. Doesn't look like they're going to take Keljo out now.
So suddenly, in the on-deck circle is the tying run.
Yeah, you thought, I guess both of us thought after the Dawgs put up 7 that it felt it was over, but
Keljo delivers. Chop to third, and Ricky Sanchez will, or rather, Connor Croson will step on third base. And after a scare, Keljo gets out of it. You can tell Keljo not enthused, but the big dog does eat, and the Dawgs come away with a 12-8 victory. A little closer than you would like, but they don't ask how, they ask how many.
Exactly. I think that bottom of the 8th inning definitely gave them more than enough. I think, well, we thought it was going to be a comfortable lead, but nonetheless, the Dawgs kept adding on, and I think that's the moral of the takeaway from this game is
that's the story in the WCBL. The Dawgs take home this one by a final score of 12-8. 14 hits for the Dawgs, 11 for Energy City, no errors for Energy City, and 2 for the Dawgs. But that'll be all for us here on FloCollege. Again, the Dawgs will be back at home tomorrow, where it's, believe it's Brooks. I can't remember who we're playing tomorrow. Let me figure that one out for you before I let you go. It is the Brooks Bombers as they return to Siemens Stadium, probably looking for a little bit of revenge. For myself, Conrad Krausen, and Merrick Robinson, who's also been joining us. Hey, and Merrick joined us on short notice, so thank you so much, Merrick. The Dawgs win. We'll see if those winning ways can continue tomorrow. Have yourself a wonderful evening, and goodbye, good night. We'll see you tomorrow.